All right, time now for our new favorite segment.
Yes, what day is it with Todd Meany?
It's Friday.
I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jay Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
Ooh, hoo, hoo.
Since you want it off the top now, I'll give it to you. If you want it, I will deliver. Anyway, it is Friday, and today we broadcast live to tape from high atop my garage. A sit-in Friday.
How about that?
As we're looking over here at another dude who looks a lot more well put together than we are.
Him?
Doesn't he? He looks like he's got his sack together. He's got like a cool shirt.
The quarter
looks like he
zip
might go golfing.
The quarter zip is definitely the sign of like I might know what venture capital means.
Yeah.
I've never had one and I never will.
Like what's a hedge fund? I don't know. But it seems like it gives you money.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Grady.
I
Grady
promise
is on
when
the
it gets
couch.
colder, Grady will get a little like a puffy vest with no sleeves.
Yeah, Grady. Why, you're saying Grady does not look well put together?
No, I know a little bit about him.
Oh. Well, that's the thing. There's always secrets. There's always
But no,
dark,
in general, all
dark
these people
secrets.
look like they could probably be our boss.
Oh, yeah. And we would welcome him.
Sure.
How's it going, Grady? Are you a little gun shy, or do you read Reddit? And I don't want to hear from the guy sitting there.
No, I just let the game come to me. You know.
There you go. All right. You'll be loved on Reddit. You're here with a few of your
You
bros.
can go cash your Reddit check.
Yeah.
Just like we do every Friday.
Be beloved on Reddit. So it's Friday, big football day, big football weekend. We had a big football night last night. Did pretty well.
Did you?
It was my big Monopoly pick.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's just one of my 18 things
Jesus.
this year. It's insane.
It really is kind of it's excusable because like you didn't buy a Corvette, but this is clearly your midlife crisis.
Maybe this whole thing we're doing is my midlife crisis.
Yeah, maybe. Glad I could get caught up in it.
Yeah. No, we're gonna be grounding and I'm drinking. You're
Steps.
not. I'm going the other way. I'm trying to start drinking more.
Sure.
Just think that'll be good for my whole thing.
Sure. Oh.
My aura.
Where are you at on steps today?
Don't answer him.
I mean, it's only 11, so it's okay if you
it's
have
a
a
trap. You know
I
it's
know
a
it
trap.
is. He's been up since 4:30.
He's going to tell you about everything he's done this morning. Don't do it.
4:30?
Don't do it.
When do you get up?
I can't help it, dude. My body is waking me up at 3:45 or 3:50 every day. And
As you know, I took a little walk on our
Oh, yeah.
meeting this morning.
What are you gonna do? You gonna fall back asleep at that point? That's too late. That's the danger zone.
What time?
3:45, 3:50. What do you? If you
I'll
want to
fall
get
back
up at
asleep.
5:30, what are you gonna do?
4,900.
That's. I think you're halfway done and it's not even noon, right?
What are you about to tell me, though?
I
What are you
didn't.
looking
What?
at?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Well, tell me. Are you already at 10K?
Grady can do the honors.
He's one of the guys. We do more before 10 a.m. than most
Right.
people do all day.
That's today.
Yeah.
13,000.
Wow.
900.
What's
13,900.
Oh,
It's impressive.
13,900. Sorry.
Look, the truth is you're more impressive than me in most facets of life.
I will be.
Yeah, now that you're all
Yeah, this is gonna be a problem
perfect.
for
And,
you guys.
anyway.
But Grady brought friends. This is true.
Yeah.
I'm
Big
interested-
sausage party in here today. That's what we like.
Told him we got beers.
We like bros.
Although I already knew
Bros over hoes,
I already
you know?
knew this guy, Bankhead. who I don't believe is from the neighborhood in Atlanta, just by looking at him. He was already telling me stories. He's a Texas fan. He's got his Texas shirt on. It's
Sure,
Texas, so
ready
you
to
know
roll.
that he's going. And then on one of his previous
It's a big
trips
weekend.
there, he insulted a friend's mother so badly without knowing it was a friend's mother that he had to write a letter to apologize. So when you told him we have a fridge full of Lone Star, I wasn't that surprised when he said, I can't really drink anymore.
Oh, okay. Not I just don't drink. It's I can't drink.
Yeah. It's usually,
You don't want to get there, but
yeah, that's
You know.
usually how it goes. Yeah.
we found that lots of people are there.
Yeah.
It's more common than you might think.
Yep.
So anyway, we will do our picks today with Chappie, Saroy, Jasmine, and Akaash Singh.
What happened to Doug?
We never really got Doug off the ground.
Okay. You got Akaash, though.
We got Akaash.
He knows Trump.
He does now, and
Like-
he'll tell us all about that later.
Think of that. I'm not saying I'm ever going to get to talk with the big man, but I'm closer than I've ever been.
We are a degree, although, we know Cuban, so we're a degree from that, but we're probably more tight with Akaash, I would say, than
Yeah.
our Cuban.
I don't have to cyber dust Akaash to get him on the show.
No, and then Bryan Curtis is going to be on because lots of media stuff has been happening since you've been gone, and you're like a McAfee expert now, so you guys can talk McAfee. And I wanted to we got a bunch of Cowboys stuff that we'll probably get into before Brian gets here. And I was upset, man, with all this. I mean, you know how it's been, kind of getting caught back up. It's probably a real whirlwind for you, like, because your life has totally changed in this week. Now you got not only everything thrown back at you at home, but work, and now we're catching up on.
They got a
Let's have a sales talk. Let's
Yeah.
have a programming. Let's
It's
just
insane.
do this
Oh,
meeting
look, they're-
after meeting, phone call after phone call.
and
after,
to top it all off, there's a hockey team in Utah.
there's a hockey team in Utah, so.
That came out of nowhere.
But I've also been a little busy, and it's hard. I feel bad. Didn't really get a chance. I know he was probably expecting the big Friday cheer, because we update that every week.
Mm-hmm.
We were teaching Danny about that last week. Oh wait, I did do it. Happy Friday to you, Jake. Welcome.
Okay, Scott.
All right.
Step Brothers. Yeah.
Specially made for you.
Thank you. Steve Ballmer. All right. Fine work, my man.
Very Steve Ballmer heavy for you. I knew that would put a smile on your little ferret face when it pops its head out of the garbage can. You see now the industrial strength garbage bag I got in there, dude? We can throw anything in there.
Yeah, no, it's
Throw a body
I was
in there.
very confused at first.
No, it's great. I'm very excited about the new edition.
What was there before?
Nothing. But I would bring up a bag and then say, hey, here's my hefty 3-ply, ultra strong, like it's the best. They at least will tell you at Kroger it's the best that you can buy on this shelf. And I was like, oh, okay, sweet. Brought it up here after a party, and then I'm walking it downstairs, and it's just dripping.
Trash
dripping,
juice, beer juice.
meat juice,
Disgusting.
whatever. And, so then I had to go to Home Depot, and you go in the construction aisle.
So this place did not have a trash can.
Well, we
before
used
this.
to. I had.
No,
you
I just
may
got a
still have
couple
one over
tiny
there.
little trash
little
cans.
like
Okay.
bathroom style trash cans, and that one's gone from here.
I've
But I
added
guess
this
he's
because
gonna-
that's in the bathroom for disposable towels.
Wait, what?
I have disposable towels in the bathroom now.
Okay, you said something about an upgrade to the towels yesterday, but I didn't know what you were talking about. What is a disposable towel? Is it
That's
not-
what you would understand if you were an entertainer like me and have people over your house all the time.
Rather than 15 people use the same towel, you just have disposable and throw it away.
How disgusting is it if you're at a party and there's a hand towel hanging there, and you walk in, you wash your hands, and then you reach over to the hand towel and it's like really kind of damp already, and you're like, oh,
That
now
doesn't
I'm just gonna
bother me
dry my
at
hand
all.
off on someone else's hand.
You need the air dryer.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It doesn't bother me at all. So, what are these made of?
It's kind of like a glorified napkin,
Okay,
but it's really big and it unfolds like
probably great
you
for
know
the
what?
environment.
Cash Soroy, it's
It's great for entertainment.
yeah. I think Cash Soroy has them when you go to his house because he entertains all the time.
Okay,
It's awesome, dude.
What?
I'm just telling you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot we were on video.
Just agree. Yeah, we're not really putting this out on. I guess it'll probably be just for subscribers on
And maybe
the Substack.
Fox.
Yeah, and Blake likes
Lean
to use
back.
it for Fox.
So did I stay right here?
I'm going
Okay.
to move all over. I'm going to move all over the place. I like to keep Rob on his toes.
I know, right? That's right.
Yeah, it's all right. As long as you get,
Grady.
I don't know, get a real close up. Yeah, just keep Grady cam on. That's what the people would like to see.
Oh, can I tell you a quick story?
And now here's Can I Tell You, or no, it's called Oh, Can I Tell You a Quick Story?
Well, first of all, what did Bryan Curtis say, Blake? Because we had a late audible
Yeah,
call.
11:30.
Okay, then I'll save this for viewer mail. Back to you. I'm not going to tell the story now.
Oh, you need more than 10 minutes to tell the story?
I just realized it was partially viewer mail, partially. Okay, so I told
What
you
does the
about
word
the
quick mean to this guy?
the Ted Cruz ads, the Colin Allred ads that my daughter is latching onto, or did. The first time she saw it, she was watching football the other day, or it was on while she was dicking around with something else, whatever she does, I don't really know. And she said, "Are babies and moms in Texas in danger?" And I don't even think I was really paying attention to the ad, but I'd seen it 100 times over the last month. So I knew when I looked up, I'm like, I don't really have an answer. I wasn't as quick with this one as I was with the wind and the tooth fairy, things you can't see that are both real.
That was a great comeback.
I kind of just mumbled my way through it and turned it down. Well, the guy, Chris, tells me he had the same experience with his 8-year-old daughter. Same ad. And that led his daughter to believe that some guy named Ted Cruz is a terrible person. Well, a few days later, we were walking through our neighborhood, and the nice old man at the corner has a Ted Cruz sign up in his yard.
Ah.
My daughter gasped in terror. I tried to steer the conversation more toward political rhetoric during campaign season rather than what Ted Cruz is doing to women in Texas. And my daughter's solid enough to read now, the word Ted at least.
Uh-huh.
And we got quite a few in our neighborhood, so I'm waiting on this. It's coming. Turns out if you move, probably the same thing in Grapevine, but if you're renting a house in South Lake,
You're going to find some Ted Cruz
it's
signs.
not just that they vote one way, it's that they want to let everybody know about
Well,
it.
just be glad she didn't see that one sign that just the huge F word or F Biden. And isn't that guy live in Grapevine?
I think he eventually took it down, but initially,
She couldn't read at that point, right?
no, it was F Joe and the hoe, except the F was the full word. And if I remember correctly, the backbone portion of the letter F and of the letter H, guns, or letters constructed of guns, and we'd pass that almost every day on the way to her daycare. So, dude, what's your life like? I guess, bro, if that's what makes you happy.
Now he's putting up huge, like, he's got his 17 Halloween things to put up in his front yard.
I think that was Bankhead's house.
Could have been.
It could have been.
So I have a Friday follow-up here.
Hit me.
That's kind of a follow-up, right? In this viewer mail. Also, Michael sent us, he said, I found some more audio about Cooper being the funniest Manning. And he wants Jake to guess who the guest is, as Adam Carolla is talking to somebody on a podcast from November 2021. Okay? So you're very familiar with Adam Carolla. See if you can guess the other voice, and we'll all just enjoy another tale that has built the legend of Cooper Manning.
It seems it's interesting to see the Mannings, especially Eli, when they do their Monday Night Football coverage. It's just like they were always kind of, I don't know what to call them. Their personalities were not big, funny, and bold. They seem, especially Eli, seemed pretty straight-laced guy. Didn't seem to be particularly humorous, and all of a sudden they've both gotten really funny and sort of come out of their shells. Do you think that was always in them, and it just kind of came out because now they can, because they don't feel like it's as buttoned down as it was when they were playing? Or I don't know what Peyton Manning's like, off the field at dinner. Funny guy, have a few drinks, have a laugh.
Peyton's a real funny guy, and a lot of fun to be with. Very dry sense of humor. The funny one in that group is Cooper.
The third brother.
The oldest.
The oldest.
The
Right.
oldest. And they're fun together because they kind of, they
Can I guess?
Bust
chuck
each
and
other's
jive. Yeah,
balls.
they,
Right.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it Dabo?
Mm-mm.
Is
Not
it,
Dabo. Interesting.
Is it? Give me a little. That's the whole clip.
That's the whole clip.
You knew it right away.
He knew it because he saw the email. He said
Okay.
it.
Or I don't know what Peyton Manning's like, off the field.
Yeah.
At dinner. Funny guy, have a few drinks, have a laugh.
Peyton's a real funny guy. And a lot of fun to be
It
with.
sounds like Cowshaw, but it's not.
Tony
very dry
Busby.
sense of humor. The funny one
Sounds
in
like
that
Tony
group is
Busby,
Cooper,
but it's not.
The third brother.
the oldest.
The oldest.
The
Right.
oldest. And they're fun together because they kind of, they
Bust
chuck
each
and jive.
other's
Yeah,
balls. Right.
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
Hold on. I'm going to try and find something else with his voice.
I didn't actually think it was Tony Busby, but that guy does sound like Tony Busby.
He does.
And kind of like Dabo.
Let's see. Maybe this will ring a bell. I hope this is going to be right. Wouldn't it have been cool for me to prep this, Blake?
It's all good. It's Friday, man.
We thought he would nail it.
Hello. So Papa John Schnatter, guys, he's just
Oh,
not having
wow.
it. The founder
okay.
and former CEO
This is
of
too
his
big.
namesake
Wow.
restaurant
Okay.
used a racial slur on a conference.
It's
Yeah.
not the same pizza. It's not the same product. It
Yeah.
just doesn't taste as good. The way they're making the pizza, the way they're putting the pizza together is just not fundamentally sound to what makes
It's not fundamentally sound.
They're fumbling,
right.
not dropping passes.
Blowing defensive assignments. What I should have done is thought a little harder and deeper about this, and I should have known. My guesses are not the type of people that Corolla would have on. Perhaps Dabo, because I do think he's the type of guy that watches like OAN when it was on.
Yeah.
But John Schnatter, I should have thought about people that had been canceled, because that's Corolla's whole bit now.
Yeah. He's gone that way hard, I
When
think.
you got to grasp on to the last little thing of trying to be funny, that's what you have to go to.
Yeah.
And yeah, Papa John definitely did get rocked with a cancellation, and we all suffered accordingly because in his legacy they lost sight of the fundamentals of constructing two large one-topping pizzas for $16.99. Oh man! So this is the fourth year of the Manning cast.
Is that right?
Did you say 2021?
That was 2021, yeah.
That's crazy. I would not have thought that.
No, it does seem like they just started it, but it's, the second year of our streams as well. We'll be doing another one this Saturday. Sunday. We definitely won't do one Saturday. Do you want to do any Cowboy stuff before Bryan Curtis pops on? Just intersperse that throughout the show? Want to do that Dak stuff?
Yeah, we could play that video really quick.
Dak has changed.
Yeah.
I think this illustrates. You said you watched the whole press conference?
Yeah. And it was pretty generic, but it's also he's real concerned about the haters and doubters now. And the way that you know is when someone says they're not concerned about the haters and doubters now.
Yeah.
That's the telltale.
Mm-hmm.
And he does it all the time. You guys can write whatever you want. Well, yeah, I know. It's my job, Dak. So I don't know that David Moore needed license to do that.
To write whatever you want, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what you say when you definitely care. LeBron does it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
they don't read anything.
Yeah.
I
block out
I
the
don't even
noise.
know what you write.
I block out the noise. I don't care about it, but I'm not going to answer your question.
But I'm well aware of everything you've said.
Yeah, it's that's a Bryan topic also, but
I think that happens a lot at home too.
What do you
mean? Domestic conversations.
Yeah.
Do what you want. I know I can.
Yeah,
do
I know
what
what
want.
you mean.
It's
yeah.
assumed.
Yeah, and it doesn't ever even actually mean that. Yeah, it's Dak is transformed into. It's weird because Romo was so goofy always. He just became goofier and goofier, whereas Dak at beginning was as vanilla gets, and he's still pretty boring. But now he's kind of pissed off.
What do you have here, Blake?
He got the ecstasy thing. He's getting accused of sexual assault and shook down. And then, the most recent thing, as we talked about yesterday in the news, was the coverage of him demolishing his house in Prosper to build a new mansion.
So this video will begin with him talking about a football answer, and you can see, he's Dak. He's kind of smiley, whatever. David Moore comes in to ask him about his house, and then like a flip switches. And so let's watch this video.
Exciting for him just to continue to get back healthy.
Even though you made the decision to rebuild, it had to be a strange feeling watching them tear down the house where you lived for a few years right in front of you, wasn't it?
Rebuild what? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, having
See,
the
he's
mansion
pissed.
Yeah.
torn down and the house torn down and watching it.
I thought we were talking football.
He's serious.
He's not
It
laughing.
just seems, I mean,
I didn't build that house.
yeah.
No, excited for new beginnings. I think a lot of times people,
Back to robot.
are scared of change. And whether you're changing something big or small, for you to create new beginnings, sometimes you've got to do that. And so
Probably should have stopped
super
there.
excited, blessed that I'm in a position to do so. I think it's crazy the coverage that it got. Being frank, trying to keep my personal life, build a home or a place or have a property that I'm about to raise a daughter and a family there, that I truly don't appreciate the drones, the extra videos, and honestly the conversation of it. I'm super blessed to be able to at this point build what I want. So enough said.
Oh,
Well,
I
then,
thought you had the little part at the end.
No, that's coming up.
Okay.
I wanted to talk on this though. How about not have Dude Perfect at your house?
Yeah, seems
I
like an
truly
easy.
don't appreciate the drones.
Seems like an easy way to keep it from being filmed by a
I
ton
like
of
our
people.
privacy.
Yeah.
Hey, Dude Perfect. Can
Yeah,
you come
how
over
about
and do
one
a-
of the
do a
biggest
film a bit?
YouTube channels in the world come over to my house?
Let's do a bit but I guard my privacy. And how about this force field? Daughter and family.
Yeah.
Daughter.
Think of it.
So I guess you guys all just want to peep at a little baby.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Basically pedophiles.
Great. Yeah.
Basically pedophiles.
Yeah, he was pissed. I wouldn't mind
Dude,
seeing
he's a
the
straight
beginning
up,
of that
he's a
again.
walking I am second bracelet. Like everything he does just turns back into super blessed, from, proud for my family and, new beginnings. Did I really need to hear his philosophy on being scared of change in a response to that question? Some
You know
people are
what?
afraid
That's
of
really
change, big
that's
or
really
small.
scary, man. Man, if I made $60 million a year, and then I was building a new, ooh, my goodness,
Yeah.
I would just the trepidation I'd have. Like, what's he afraid of? Like if you
they rebuild him like a 2-1 on accident, and he shows up. He's like, this thing fucked this whole thing up. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I think, yeah.
I'm tearing down a $3 million, 8,000 square foot house to build something, 10 times as valuable and twice as big or whatever. And it's
Also, low key.
And I wonder if that daughter I mentioned, if like her great grandchild will still have enough money left over after out of all my
It'll
money.
be dicey. Low key, he's kind of throwing shade at the whoever designed that house. He's like, I didn't design this. It's terrible.
Yeah, he's just trying to distance from the whole thing. But
I do wonder about. Was it your theory the other day? The lady made him tear it down because
she's like, there's a lot of bad memories
I want to
here.
live somewhere that a bunch of other chicks haven't been banged.
Yeah. I just walk through these halls and I just picture strippers.
I actually know a person through another person that they didn't knock down the house, but they married someone who had been married before, and they were like, we're not living in this house. I bet that happens.
I've definitely heard of, like, we have to buy all new furniture.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So all this is covered in cum.
The bed for sure, right?
Yeah, I can smell her juice on it. Play the beginning of the same video again, because like he flips. Man, he's answering football, and you have Dak Prescott, and then
he also does which he does this sometimes. He knows exactly what he meant when he said rebuild what.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I said your house.
It's so testy.
Exciting for him just to continue to get back healthy.
Even though you made the decision to rebuild, it had to be a strange feeling watching them tear down the house where you lived for a few years right in front of you, wasn't it?
Rebuild what? What do you mean?
He just said the house that you lived in, tearing it down right in front of you.
Yeah, it's in the news.
And now, like, he's looking over at Taz.
Taz, get me out of this.
So mad.
The PR
I
guy,
didn't
like,
build that house.
I didn't build that piece of junk.
No, excited for new
All right, we
beginnings.
don't need
Okay, all right.
You do want to hear the very end.
Yeah,
though.
all right. Let's play part 2. It'll pick up at the end of his answer. As much as we poo-poo on bad questions, I don't know if he intended to do this.
100% he did.
He did?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so. I don't know
'cause this
who
was really
is
cool.
it.
Nick Harris? Nick
Eatman?
No.
You can't find Nick Eatman. He's still wandering
yeah.
in the jungle somewhere.
I'll find it. But this was very, very good.
I truly don't appreciate the drones, the extra videos, and honestly the
Tyler, Tony,
conversation of it. I'm super blessed to be able to at this point build what I want. So enough said.
The landscape is different from the last time y'all played the Lions. So what do you get out of watching the game?
I'm about to say. So you tested me. You tested me. That was nice. That was nice. One more time. You got to ask it again.
Now he's back to friendly Dak Prescott, but he comes in there. The landscape has changed.
Yeah, Nick Harris
since you play the Commander.
I almost am certain that's intentional. That's not a normal way you say things, and if so,
no, he did it on purpose.
That's awesome because also he might not have had that ready. He didn't know David was going to ask that question. That's a great job right there.
Yeah.
You could see how pissed Dak was at first. That was solid. Yeah, no, I think
but the media is all just waiting to be your buddy. We all want to laugh with you too, Dak.
Yeah.
It's so great.
I don't know why these extra cameras were around, and then in 2 months, dude perfect. We demolished Dak Prescott's house.
Yeah.
Right. 200 million views on it.
We broke him.
And
it's
Dak,
impossible to not get broken if you're the Cowboys quarterback. You know, it just happens. It ain't like Troy was real friendly with the media. He hated it.
Yeah, but you can't play both sides. You can't be all friendly, and I'm Dak, and I'm the quarterback, and I'm the face of the franchise. We're all cool. Everyone's cool. Hey, give me my privacy when I get home. But Dude Perfect can come in here.
Yeah, it's a tough draw. I mean, I can't even imagine the position he's in of how hard it is to knock down a $30 million home and build a $20 million home.
Yeah. Where are we at on the Bryan Curtis watch? Oh, not there yet? Okay. Well, let's hit him up, and then we can also touch this Zeke story. I don't know if you guys saw, but Zeke is not happy with his usage right now. He apparently is just not getting the short yardage touches. He's not getting opportunities as a red zone back, perhaps.
What does that even mean?
They probably, brought him back saying this is what we were lacking last year. And we need you, Dowdle will be the guy, just the regular back, but you'll possibly be a third down back that helps with blitz protection because you're so good at it that it's worth, 2.5 yards a carry just to keep you on a roster. It's not that bad, but
ain't that far off.
And, they probably said you're going to be our, third and short, just the guy that can go out and get us 1 or 2 yards. We need that. And after the way they used him in game 1, you would have to think, I don't know, he thought he was going to get a lot more opportunities. And
he looked like he had a little something.
Yeah, so in that sense, you can kind of see what he's saying. But
is it just because Dowdle fumbled on the goal line?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because the way Dowdle's been running the past 2 weeks, he's deserving of goal line touches. He's been fine.
The other thing, too, is, despite the fact that they threw him a bunch of 2-yard passes in New England, he's not a good pass catcher. Third down backs need to be able to do that. You know who's better than Zeke right now? Hunter Lipke.
Are you saying running backs that don't duck when throwing the football?
That would be helpful.
Hey, guys, guess what? We got a guest.
Bryan Curtis, Fort Worth, Texas. Bryan Curtis is the editor-at-large for The Ringer, a title even he doesn't understand. He's the second most famous sports writer to attend Pascal High School. He's the foremost authority on radio row pitches for CBD, male enhancement products, and Carrot Top. Co-host of the Press Box podcast, Bryan Curtis.
Wow.
Here he is, folks.
Wow.
Ladies.
Bryan?
Hello, The Ringer's Bryan Curtis. Thanks for joining us.
That was amazing. You really made it when you have your own intro on the show.
Sure.
I mean, this is This is something else.
First guest.
Go to the mailbox and look for I've got my own intro check.
Yeah. Well, so much to talk about, Brian.
Oh, let's do it.
It's been quite an eventful.
All right, before we get into all like the media stuff, because Brian, that's his bit.
Uh-huh.
The press box. They do cover the media, and it's a great podcast. Tell us about this movie career. Brian's in a movie.
I am in a movie. I get this note from a press box listener, and they say, "Hey, I made a movie. I'm a young actor and screenwriter, and there's a part in the movie, a very small part, but there's a part in the movie for a radio disc jockey who is talking to people as the world is about to end because asteroids are hitting the Earth. And this is kind of, this is like a love story. This is not a Bruce Willis goes to the asteroid and starts drilling it with Steve Buscemi kind of movie.
You can't. I mean, listen, you don't want to touch perfection.
That's right. You don't want to try to repeat what works. So I say, well, yes, I would love to be in your asteroid movie. And I went and spent a day recording in a Hollywood, sound facility, and they had filmed the movie, so they're running footage of the movie, and then I'm talking to Match, and I kind of do my press box voice, but give it a little FM DJ, hey everybody, voice to it. The asteroids are coming. We're taking your calls, open lines. Here we go. And the movie is called When I'm Ready, and it comes out in January.
You have a SAG card now?
That has not been offered to me as of yet.
Okay.
Did you get paid scale?
How was craft services?
Yeah, it was. I've not experienced any of the terms you mentioned.
It's the only ones we know.
There was a discussion about what to call the DJ, and we settled on Brian Benson.
That's pretty good.
And my only rider in my contract was that Brian had to be spelled with a Y.
There you go.
That's how you know if you're a real fan. One more thing, you always ask for this: points on the back end.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know
Also
why.
not in the contract that I didn't read terribly closely.
Yeah.
So, let's just catch up on all these stories. What the hell happened with Zach Lowe?
Dude, that was a terrible story, wasn't it? I mean, I feel like we have a lot of ESPN stories where you have the whole list. You're like, oh my God, they got rid of Jeff Van Gundy. And then for some reason, and I don't know if it's just coming at the end of a bunch of layoff stories, but it's like they got rid of Zach Lowe. What did Zach do wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I heard you and David talking about it, and it is just such a weird position that ESPN finds themselves. I feel like they've been in an identity crisis for 20 years now, and they've managed it pretty well by being able to. It's like they're almost nailing at times the give the people what they think they want and also give the people what you want them to want information dissemination model, because, hey, here's Grantland. Grantland's going to be really thoughtful, and it's going to have long-form stuff. And then, hey, we'll have podcasts that are not the same Screamin' A podcast. We're still going to pay Screamin' A and Skip Once Upon a Time and McAfee millions and millions of dollars, but we're also going to have Bontemps and Zach Lowe and Bill Barnwell. And now it seems like they're just like, you know what, screw it. We're just going to lean all the way into games and yelling and just be a lowest common denominator operation, which sucks because by nature they have the ability to get and pay the best thoughtful people. Now it just seems like they're going to give up on that.
Yeah, and I think part of what we're reacting to here, why this seems so particularly sucky, is because ESPN used to be a box store of sports content. I mean, I was just like looking at the list of people that work there and everybody that, you mentioned. And then you've got like Wesley Morris, who is a critic at the New York Times, worked at ESPN. You talk like somebody the other day was like, hey, you forgot like Tirico on your list, not to mention my boss, Russillo, like all these guys. And you're like, I can't believe how much talent has walked out of that place over the last decade. Like, it's unbelievable. Nate Silver, who we're reading his election predictions right now every day, he worked at ESPN when I was there at Grantland. What? And so in a way, old ESPN, you didn't have to make a choice. You could be like, hey, here's a guy doing some shtick on TV. I don't like it, and I'm just going to kind of ignore it because here's Zach, here's Barnwell, here's Mina, here's all these people I like. the ladder list has gotten much smaller, way, way, way smaller. And it's what you said, Jake. It's like just they're doing something different now that's not the old ESPN.
And I noticed something too over the last month where I was limited to exclusively getting my sports information from ESPN. I think there's like a McAfeeification of the entire network. And what I mean by that is I started to notice, I don't know what the guys' last names are, but they do SportsCenter in the mornings on the weekend, and then they do it sometimes during the week. Their names are Gary and Randy. They're very talented, but they're very bro. I mean, I've heard them shorten words that I did not know could get shorter. And so I consumed a lot of their product, and I thought, boy, and these guys they're my age or older, but it's clear that they're trying to appeal to a TikTok type crowd. And then the other thing I noticed is they'll have crosstalk between TV shows now like they're a sports talk radio station. So when they're wrapping up the SportsCenter, let's say 7 o'clock Central SportsCenter, their last block, they'll bring Greeny on. But it seems really forced because it's not the ticket, It's not even, any of these other legacy sports stations where they all know each other. I'm sure they know each other, but they're trying to do that. At the end of SportsCenter, the two anchors who are presenting the top plays, they leave about 4 or 5 minutes to argue about the order of the top plays. And I'm like, you made the order. Why did we leave 5 minutes for you to be like, this should have been 6, not 3? It's like, who else made it? But it's clear that they're trying to turn it into more of that than it's ever been before. And it's weird to me.
It's funny. Like there was a while where Stephen A was going on Get Up and kind of doing a Why Today Doesn't Suck 5 to 10 minutes right at the end of the show. It was always like he's warming up, like, oh, what are you doing here? Oh, hey, your show is about to start after ours. Which did feel very sports radio. It's funny. I don't want to be like old guy with ESPN, but I just remember like, Keith Olbermann doing an intro. Remember when they used to do those like minute and a half intros before a highlight package? And he'd be talking about the Cleveland Spiders. And I'd be, as a kid, just be like, I don't know what the Cleveland Spiders are. Oh, wait, they were an old baseball team that set some record that got broken today. And it just feels like, again, the broy stuff can be fun, but it just feels like you couldn't do that today. I mean, maybe Van Pelt is kind of working in that palette a little bit, but you just couldn't go there today. Like, that's just not ESPN anymore. And I agree. It's much, much more McAfee than anything else.
Does it also have the feel, since you've been watching a lot of, you ever get guys talking bro, but they seem too old to be doing that? And
it's not, and it doesn't feel ironic, which of course would go back to something I say all the time, which is that in pop culture, the concept of irony is basically dead. Everybody's doing some sort of bit or not at the same time. But yes, they are. It does feel like they're a little out of the demo to be. I don't think AJ Hawk should be saying what are Arch Manning's dims. That feels weird to me. He's my age or older. But the other McAfee thing that I noticed was I didn't realize. I knew they would let them say words like shit or hell or damn, but they do miss some F-bombs. And it's shocking when they do to me still. It's 12:05 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, and, they had Marshawn Lynch on, and half the interview was dumped. But occasionally they'll miss those, and I don't know. They literally just let him do whatever he wants. It's crazy. I don't.
Jake, you're a game day guy. Have you enjoyed the over laughing for every time Nick Saban makes a joke?
Every time. Every single time. It's anything he says. Heck, last week, do you know who the guest picker was last week, or it might have been the week before, Dan?
Manziel?
No, Miss Terry.
Miss Terry, is that his wife?
Yeah. The whole show is basically Nick Saban and Pat McAfee now.
Okay. Well, that's a 2-year
It's a wild
transition.
Ride.
Yeah. You guys are talking about Zach Lowe and just how ESPN is changing. And then now this all ties in, I guess, because Woj leaves. We could talk about that, and they got to replace him with Shams. We've talked forever about I just don't get the Woj, rise to prominence at ESPN, because I don't know that is that valuable to people, getting something told to you minutes before the team was going to tell you anyway. And I think it all kind of started with the NBA draft, correct? Woj was scooping the NBA or ESPN on the NBA draft from Yahoo, and they were like, "We can't have this. Let's hire him." And now we can't scoop anyway. But it was just kind of like a pride thing. It wasn't about anything else. It wasn't about people caring. But they've elevated him so big. Shams is so big, and then Zach Lowe, who analyzes that big trade or big deal or whatever, that is not valued at all. That's kind of what I want.
Yeah.
Like, I want it the next day. Let's dive into this. Well, I could get good minds on. Okay, this guy really is the pulse of the NBA. He could tell me, what does this mean? It's kind of like ESPN saying, doesn't matter what it means. Like,
I completely agree, and it's almost like I've been meaning to call ESPN PR and it's like, can you just give me the official reason why you want insiders on your air all the time that you're paying, by the way, millions and millions of dollars to? It's not just that, those guys are going. Woj made a reported $7 million. So think of how many people you could employ to break down trades with that money. I guess it's partly that there is the pride thing, like you said. I do know that, like, when I'm watching NFL shows on Sunday mornings, the only time I pay attention is when an insider comes on, because I'm like, well, at least he'll have information, and it's not like just bad analysis of the game. But, I agree. Like, every time something happens, other people confirm it like 20 seconds later. So if I had okay, I'm not going to have Shams, I'm going to have the trade confirmer who's like reasonably well sourced around the league. And 20 seconds later, he can be like, it's right. Yep. The NBA thing is true. Let's talk about it. Let's do it.
It almost feels, it's like a weird arms race. Like, if one of them exists, then 10 of them have to exist. And then it's a pride thing, because you don't want to be we hear about this all the time from local media, that their editor at the newspaper or the TV station, their producer, whatever, will hear someone else ask about something and ask them, like, why didn't you ask about that? Like, why weren't you on that type thing? Like, well, because I didn't think it mattered. That was a non-story to me. So if you have Woj, you have to have several other, because their organization has to feel like we're in this game too. I guess there's the one case I would make for Woj and Woj lights is that people really do like rumors. So it's not always just that this trade has been made or this move has been made. A lot of times, like a week before it happens, he'll say something that gets the people into a tizzy, gets them all riled up.
Well, I mean, Shams had J.J. Redick.
Yeah.
He had J.J. Redick nailed, but that was another comedy of whatever you would call this, like, just of how bad kind of ESPN is, and Woj is, I guess that leads to another thing I want to talk about, is that now even these insider information posts, they're compromised. And we have to it's kind of like I got this post about Kamala. Well, who's it from? Oh, okay. Well, then obviously they were going to write that no matter what Kamala said. Or same thing with Trump. But the, Woj who works, isn't there a tie-in with CAA, the agency? And if you're a CAA guy, and then Woj is as well.
I know Schefter gets a lot of heat for that.
Yeah. And then, or did you get it from a team? And you will see how Schefter crafts the wording of something. Was it Debo? No, it was Brandon Ayuk signed this contract, the same contract that was available to him 4 months ago.
Yeah.
So clearly that
came
was an
all-timer.
That came from the team, but if it said a different way, it would have come from the agent. So I don't know.
I agree, and I see it on my beat too, which is funny. I mean, like, even who was going to replace Woj, there were Woj bombs about that. There was a will Schefter do both jobs thing, which I don't think was real. There was, or at least I never heard it was real. There was a will Jeff Passan move from baseball to basketball and do it? And then it finally got to Shams. I'm like, oh my God, we're Woj bombing the Woj replacement. just so meta. But I do know, like, again, on the media stuff, those rumors, those pseudo Woj bombs, like, hey, dude, did you guys hear Marcus Spears signed a new contract? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't. His contract was ending. What? And that's like 400 retweets, and I'm just like, okay. that doesn't move my needle, but I think people have just become so conditioned to think that anything like that's news, that's change, it's different, it's a rumor, whatever it is, that they go crazy for that stuff. Always.
Have you had a chance to take a look at this WAPO Skip Bayless piece?
I saw, when we were coming on, I just saw a couple of Twitter clips from it. What do we? What's our guy doing?
It's just life afterward. I always think of when I mention Miss Terry, I think of Skip Bayless also because he's got to have the second most name dropped wife in sports or sports media, right? We all know Ernestine.
Who? Skip Bayless?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not familiar.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm way too online, but it feels like
she wrote a book. I think maybe was that.
I just know he'll always, she's definitely the one filming him when he goes and throws Dak's jersey in the trash can 7 times a year.
Okay, I always wonder who's filming him.
Yeah, well, it's her.
I mean, he's no Ben.
He's the cinematographer of Skip's Instagram, for sure. Yeah.
She's no Ben.
Oh, dude, I think Ernestine is lapping Ben.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I get a lot of Ben
Are you sure?
content.
I don't know, man. Ben's had quite a run over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he has come up quite a bit.
I see other sideline reporters posing with Ben and then Instagramming that.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Yep, saw that last week.
Yeah.
They put a mic in his dumb dog face.
Okay.
Like he was gonna give an interview on the effing first half.
He's an influencer.
It's really just like, what does Skip do now? Which is kind of a funny thing. Even maybe if you think about Norm, I think a lot of people were like, what's Norm going to do? Like, this has been his whole life. His whole life is debating and making points and, sometimes arguing. I think that's why a lot of us thought, like, he's just going to do this until he physically can't or isn't alive. And so, yeah, Skip's got a bunch of irons in the fire. I enjoyed this paragraph. His other projects include a book about his years in television that he says he couldn't write while working for a TV network. So I would expect you to have an advanced copy of that and a review. And a screenplay centered on a LeBron James-like character that he plans to shop. Asked for details on the movie, Bayless smirked and offered, quote, a lot of sex and religion.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just such a Skip Bayless Mad Lib there. Of course it's LeBron, and it's about sex and religion. I don't know.
I mean, the whole arc is unbelievable. I mean, as somebody who was listening to him on Cliff as a kid, you could absolutely project this, and you could absolutely not project this, that this would go this far. I mean, you can see it now in retrospect, the curve that takes us from 6 to 8s, and stay tuned for Bob Ray Sanders to, I am ruling the world and making how many millions of dollars on cable sports, but like, it's just still astounding to me. And if we're now in the post TV, post Fox Skip era, my mind remains blown by everything.
So one more thing from me on ESPN, then that's all I got is, if I asked you to crystal ball this 5-10 years from now, what do you think they look like? Do you think they'll even still try to put out thoughtful podcasts? I mean, do you think they'll try? I mean, they've got that show with Belichick and Manning on that comes on Sunday morning, but I think they're only running that because it's Belichick and Manning. You know what I mean? They were able to replace NFL Matchup because it's two guys that you've heard of and love. But I don't know that they would let, for example, Barnwell do that today. It just seems like 5-10 years from now, it's just going to be games and yelling exclusively.
Okay, that's on the show.
5 years from now,
TV.
is Mina, do they consider Mina like, this is not worth it?
Well, because you say thoughtful podcast, I'm a fan of the Windhorst, who have the two Tims.
Yeah, and I wonder about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Windhorst still has like breaking news value, and McMahon
But if they were
going to
blow out
Temps, but Zach Lowe is not.
If they're going to blow out Zach Lowe,
they cannot be far off.
Why would they not say, well, maybe Zach Lowe's salary was a lot higher than Tim McMahon's.
Yeah, he's a national guy for sure, but he's on TV more. But I don't know. It's
Yeah,
almost like
I think, and even when you talk about the thoughtful Manning thing, remember Manning is part of the star system at ESPN.
Yeah.
He just happens to do it a different way. So he's one of those, 5 to 10 stars at ESPN who kind of, they're giving, and basically, by the way, they're giving their whole podcasting project to Omaha. They're not really. I mean, I guess one of the things that confused me about Zach, we can talk about like, hey, there's the First Take way of doing things. There's the Zach Lowe way of doing things. You can make money on a podcast that's as big as Zach Lowe's.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say that I know I'm saying this from a podcasting company, but that always just blew my mind. It's like, how did you not how was the Zach Lowe podcast not just paying for all this, paying for Zach? Then plus you get TV hits, plus you get him writing about a sport. By the way, you just paid more than $2 billion to renew.
Most of which was behind a paywall, so if you were a big Zach Lowe fan, you were going to have to pay for it. That's making money right there, which was one of the reasons I had a subscription.
Yeah, and I think probably the biggest, right? I mean, if we looked at all the reasons, I mean, maybe Barnwell because it's NFL. I'm sure he drew a bunch of eyeballs too behind there, but it's weird to me because we could say, ESPN's stripping itself down, but I also think like they're all in on the NFL and the NBA. So surely you want people around, whether it's McMahon, whether it's Zach, whether it's, whoever it is to talk about this stuff because that generates interest in the thing you just spent billions of dollars to buy.
Zach Lowe's contract situation, do you know? Do they have to pay him for another year or two, or are you privy to that? Has he called Bill Simmons for a job?
Not that I've been present for, but I can't remember what his contract situation is. I'm trying to remember what the thing is.
That's got to be the top. The top rumor is he'll be at the Ringer, right?
I believe.
Can't confirm or deny.
I believe
don't
that's
know.
the betting favorite.
Does that get listed somewhere?
Probably.
Yeah.
I know to replace Woj was. Did you want to talk about the use check thing?
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Okay.
that's on my list here.
Okay.
The NFL Player Association has put out a statement on social media bringing up the topic of where interviews with players are conducted. I know you're very aware of this, Brian, and have your opinions on it as well. This has been a thing for a while, probably since pandemic. Took media out of there, and then media came back in. But recently, it may have reared its head again because of a Grant Cohn interaction with some San Francisco 49ers. Are you familiar with Grant Cohn?
Not offhand.
Okay, he's apparently a reporter, a San Francisco reporter. I've heard him on with Ethan Strauss in the past, and that's why he's on my radar. And I'm learning this as it goes, but apparently Grant Cohn's father was somewhat of a big-time reporter or columnist back in the San Francisco area, and this stems even back to him because he was a flame-throwing columnist who would not be afraid to take on the 49ers organization as a whole. Grant Cohn seems to be following in his footsteps. He does like YouTube stuff every day. He does shorts on practice every day, and he appears to not just step in line with San Francisco 49ers.com columnists. And so he lets his opinion. Well, I think it was Kyle Juszczyk was saying, what's this guy staring at our junk or something like that. Like they were intimating this guy kind of hangs around the showers, and just that's the shade they're going to throw back at him for the hot sports opinions he throws out there. And it's just been going back and forth, and I think that's what kind of got the fire going on this recent NFLPA jumping in saying, hey, yeah, how come reporters are even in the locker room? That's a little background on that. Now, let's talk about, Brian, how come reporters are even in the locker room, and should they be?
It's deeply weird. I think every reporter in there would tell you the same thing. The reason they're in there is just because for convenience. Like football game ends, you have 50 plus people on each team, and you need to talk to a whole bunch of people. So how are you going to do that? Like, what's the easiest way to do that? You're either going to have them stand there in their pads, sweating outside the locker room while you go to each one of them. I was thinking of the Cowboys-Steelers game the other day. Let's say one of us was a Cowboys beat writer, and we were trying to do it alone. How many people would you want to talk to after that game? Dak, for sure, right? We got, we need an update on Marshawn Nealon, right? Demarion Overshown showed out, so we need an update on him. You mentioned Dowdle fumbling at the goal line. We need to talk about that, right? Winning touchdown. I mean, there's so many guys to talk to do it efficiently. You do them in one place. We should also add that when the guys are in there, they are effectively cornered, right? You have to go in, you have to get changed, and then you have to come back to your locker and meet the press, right? So there is an element of that too, that this is advantageous for sports writers, because if I sit next to this guy's locker, he is going to come back and I'm going to get my 2 minutes with him, or a minute, or whatever it is. I'm going to get my question into him. I think a lot of players have said, well, we want to just replace this with something else. Now, whether they want to actually replace it or just get rid of reporters out of the locker room altogether, not totally clear to me, but they would just not like them in their business like that. Like, the locker room needs to be private, it needs to be sanctified. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, and then players have proposed, well, what if we had this other room outside where we all sat in and talked to you post game, and then we went in the locker room, you didn't follow us in? If you could be workable with that, I think, if that were to actually make sense, like 50 people plus all the media in a room, that's an extra room next to the locker room, or however you want to do it, that would make sense. But it's always funny to me, because where we used to hear this on the ticket. People used to be like, you don't need to be asking players questions right after a game. I mean, who cares about the answer they give? And then every ticker, every 20 minutes would have sound from the Cowboys locker room. I'm like, dude, you quit the post-game interviews first, and then you can complain about it.
Yeah, I know if you just said, well, we'll just put them on podiums. That's also just...
It would take forever, and it's sanitized.
Yeah.
Highly.
It's sanitized, but also it works in the NBA because there's like 4 guys right after a game you want to talk to. It's not the same in the NFL. I mean, just think about the Cowboys-Steelers example I just gave. There's a ton of dudes you want to talk to after a game.
And it was always weird to me, too, just from my one road trip covering the Cowboys. Jerry talks at the same time. Yeah. It's not like he goes to the podium like McCarthy does, or like Dak does, or like Garrett did.
So you have to choose?
Yeah, you're like, how does this work?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Wouldn't Jerry do it like in the locker room right before it opened, like outside the door, so that
yes,
the reporters are waiting to get in, and he has the captive audience?
Right, but some guys are running in there, they're getting ready, like to try. They use Jerry as like cover almost, like they would try to get ready while Jerry was still talking, so that they could make their way out. It's a really weird deal, especially just. I'm a progressive guy, whatever. It's still weird to have women in there. To me, it's just puts them in
just with dongs hanging out,
incredibly uncomfortable situation.
Yeah,
and I think it's uncomfortable for dudes too. But I don't know. It's a very weird thing. It's just grandfathered in, I guess, and it makes no sense.
Let's ask a question. I know no one knows the answer to this. How does the WNBA handle it? Because they clearly don't let dude reporters in there while they're changing.
So it must be a media room podium kind of thing. But
yeah,
again, it's like it's as much. You're talking just about so many fewer people to talk to.
Yeah.
By the way, when I've traveled around, talked to sports writers elsewhere, it doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. Nobody else has.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, what do they do?
Well, in soccer, they walk you out to like a little room, right? It's like a little.
Well, it's a mixed zone. That's like this little. Players can walk by, but players don't have to stop. Is the thing.
So you cannot. All right, you're not guaranteed. I could have access to anybody on the team that I want.
The leagues of the CBA here, mandate that you have to talk after the game. Now, if you don't, the penalties are pretty small for an athlete. They could we saw Marshawn Lynch years ago, right? Just sort of blow that off or make it into a gag, do a bit. But you have to talk. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, think about the CD Dak thing that NBC made such a big deal out of, and I don't think that got actually settled until Wednesday, right? If I'm not mistaken. That's what locker rooms exist for. You'd be like, hey, man, the broadcast made it seem like you were saying something about Dak on the sideline. What did you say?
So
that is literally what that is for.
So do we only think we need this because it's been the way it is?
Yeah.
So we as media feel like we're entitled to this, but actually, if this didn't exist at all from the beginning, everything would be fine, and we'd still love football and follow the teams.
I think it's a reasonable question to ask. Like, what would you lose if all this went away? Would you really, if you had, if it either went behind podiums, went to another room, you just had the Wednesday availability at the Star, like what would change? But I also know that people to host sports shows would go on there and complain, why isn't the media asking so-and-so about this? Why can't we get answers to these questions that are going to make our segments?
And fans might care about that too. I don't think that's solely
depend on
media.
that stuff.
Yeah, and it's a weird deal. Speaking of the Wednesday availability, we just played the audio and video of Dak really upset that people were making a big deal over his house being demolished to build a new one. And he was mad that there were drone shots and TMZ was there, despite the fact that he shot bits with Dude Perfect during it. So that's just too on the nose. But what's weird about it is if Troy or Chris and Tarico caught that video and were like, oh, you can decide for yourself what this is between CD and Dak, then people speculated about it, everybody, media or otherwise. The only way he was able to set the record straight on what he actually said was by meeting with the media. And in that answer, he's like, he said jump ball, obviously, but I know what you guys are going to do. You're just going to take it and run with it and create your own stories and narratives. And I guess that's what y'all do, but I don't care. When in reality, the only way he was able to set the record straight was because he has to meet with the media every week.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
And I saw people on Twitter with Clarence Hill during the game being like, "That it's not a big deal. Trust me." And all you have to do is ask right after the game, like, "What did you say?" Okay, great.
Yeah.
Jump ball next time. Let me go get it.
Yeah, it's a weird. And then if the teams are saying they don't need to be asking questions to everybody that exists and all this kind of stuff, and I'm only thinking of this. This is anecdotal, I suppose, but you guys have heard this before. I got a buddy who works for the Cavs. He gets mad at local media members who criticize the team, but that he never sees them at the games or in the press conferences.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, he never even comes to these games. You can't. Does that really help? I argue with him all the time about that.
Yeah, that was a Carlisle special. Oh, good to see you here for the first time in 4 months.
And Pete DeBoer with
Pete
Kalishaw.
DeBoer, for sure, yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah.
The dance we do.
And the whole thing about, hanging out, I totally understand. Again, the whole situation is weird, but the reason people hang out in the locker rooms, they want to have relationships with players, right? They want to have some kind of working relationship with them so that when a weird thing comes up, they can ask them about it. And it's not just like, hey, I'm a stranger asking you about a ball you just dropped at the end of the game. Like, we have a relationship. So, this is coming from a place where I've asked you a million questions, and asked you questions when you had the game of your life and all that stuff like that. That's what it's about, right? Is making sure that players and reporters are not strangers to each other.
Well, and
to me is like,
it's insider info.
tell me how we do that.
Because the whole reason, like Jerry does this little scrum and everyone asks their questions, but then there's the walk-off because you want an answer that no one else has. And that's probably where this originated, is you want to ask the guy in his locker with no one else around so you have an answer that no one else does.
Totally. And that informs everything you write. I mean, again, that doesn't exist without relationships. If I walk in the Cowboys locker room and I'm like, hey, CD, tell me what's really going on, he's going to be like, who the hell are you? But if there's guys that have been in there all the time, like that's where you get that kind of stuff.
And the report that we were talking about before you joined about Zeke dumbfounded about his red zone opportunities, that came from a Clarence Hill question to Ezekiel Elliott in the locker room.
Yep. Clarence gets a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, it could have also been one of those things where he's like, hey, Zeke, you're not getting a lot of opportunities in the red zone. Are you bothered by that? He's like, well, yeah, sure. I mean, okay. Zeke said, if could have been led into that.
Yeah,
so
but if it's at a podium and he asks the same thing, Zeke will say, no, I mean, I'm happy, whoever gets the ball. I'm just trying to be a leader here. But if it's a one-on-one, it's like, hell yeah, I don't know why they give me the damn ball.
Yeah.
He's a little more honest.
Well, we've solved a lot of media problems today, Brian.
We have.
Good thing we're on the case. And we encourage everybody to go listen to the Press Box. It's fantastic. Especially here in campaign season. Can we get like
talk.
Don't you have some kind of a button available to your big fans?
I got one right here.
A Press Box campaign button?
You could own this special Press Box 2024 campaign button.
How can I get a hold of that one? Or not that one in particular.
Well, we don't exactly have merchandising, but I can send some to the Dragon Den.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's do that.
It's all we're concerned about.
Package.
Yeah, I'm concerned about me.
Yep.
And the great Bryan Curtis. Thank you for joining us, man.
Thank you. Thanks for the intro. Cool.
Nice hat.
What's the hat?
Albuquerque Isotopes, sir.
Okay.
That didn't help. I don't know what he just said.
Minor League Baseball.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Dan only memorizes the managers of the bigs.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
What if I showed up one day and had all of AAA?
Well, I encourage you to do so. All right, thanks, man.
See ya.
All right. Let's is our guest picking coming up right now, or you want to do some viewer mail out of the way before we do that?
Yeah, let's do some viewer mail.
Well, that Blake has spoken. Oh, yeah, wait a minute, Uncle Hotmail. Even though we've already done a couple of them. I have some non-birthday stuff. One has a picture, Rob. And I could lead off with that one if you want, or I can hold it. Okay, I'll lead off with it. It's because, Matt, when you've been gone, people have been telling us about more Rosannes.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah,
Matt has a big list. He's got Tim Curry is on there, Richard Dean Anderson, but the one I thought really
Whoa,
looked,
Tim Curry's a Rosanne for sure.
he has Kelly McGillis. So that's the photo I have there.
Yeah.
If you want to take a look at it.
Oh, my God.
She's the hot from the original Top Gun.
That is a terminal case of Rosanne. Oh, my God.
Tom Cruise looks very similar than.
Yeah.
But then Kelly McGillis is morphed into a Rosanne.
Well, that brings me joy.
I have from No Tux Chad. He says, "Greetings, Captain Stabbin. I don't have a birthday announcement, but I rather want to take a moment to praise Jake for his bravery in seeking treatment and sharing it with all of us at home. It's not an easy task to admit you have an issue and can be better. I'm glad he did this. I'm glad he did this for himself, his family, and the show. This accomplishment comes second only to the amazing writing, acting, and cinematography of The Boys, now streaming on Amazon Prime. An impressive, realistic look at the fairly untapped genre of superhero entertainment. It's like The Wire meets Breaking Bad meets Underdog.
No.
A true masterpiece." That's from Chad. I agree, Chad. Jake's accomplishment is a distant second to The Boys on Amazon Prime.
Who got you into this? How did this happen?
America?
No, I'm serious. You don't just... I know you. You don't just go start watching something.
It's just great. I just could tell.
Okay. He's not going to be honest with me?
No.
Cool.
And I have one gay, not gay.
Okay.
All right.
Steve Noviello has given us the thumbs up to...
Yeah, we need to compile some and have him on the show.
We will, but Jay writes, G not G, having your homie's location, which Dan and Blake do.
It's a good question.
It helps, though.
I feel like you enjoy it.
I think you enjoyed it because I remember listening to you when I was in France, and you were like, "Oh, he was at the Louvre yesterday."
The only friend...
Like he watches where I was in France.
The only friend
I don't
whose
know if I've
location
checked
I
it
have
since.
is blind.
Really?
Yeah. We go on enough trips together where he's like, "Look, just leave it on. I get lost."
Okay.
I'm like, all right.
Now, is this the same blind guy that beat you in axe throwing?
Yep. And found my sunglasses on the beach at night.
And who, when we had him over for a game watching, sat in the very middle of the couch. Like he took the best seat in the house. And he's blind.
Yeah.
Like we could have put him in the back corner.
Yeah.
Facing the
turn
wall.
around. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I got a quick one for you that is relevant to this weekend, and it has a little bit of audio with it. Let me go back here. This one is regarding the University of Texas's mascot.
Beefy?
Correct. So while we know about the incident, I think this guy just got in a Wikipedia wormhole and just wanted us to know about this. There's a mishaps by Bevo affecting others portion of Bevo's Wikipedia page.
Okay.
So obviously you've got here in 2019 at the Sugar Bowl, Bevo 15, when he broke free of handlers and attacked Uga.
The Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So a couple other times here, Bevo II once charged an SMU cheerleader who had to defend himself with a megaphone. That's fun. Bevo III escaped from his enclosure and ran loose across campus for 2 days.
Really?
Not hours.
Boy, that's a concrete campus too, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Bevo IV once attacked a parked car. Bevo V.
Wonder how insurance handles that.
Right? Like, it's like a real-life Mayhem commercial with the guy from Oz.
I love him.
Bevo V broke loose and scattered the Baylor band. And then, of course, Bevo XV brought us this fantastic moment right here.
Things got a little heated during a meeting of the mascots ahead of Tuesday's Sugar Bowl game in New Orleans. At a pregame photo op, the Texas Longhorns mascot Beefy suddenly broke through some barriers. He charged right at the Georgia Bulldog. Everybody scattered. The handlers had to pull the steer back. Nobody was hurt, but it was kind of a sign of things to come. Texas did really pound Georgia, well, 28-21. Wow. All right.
It's a
One possession game.
Even if they brought it back in garbage time, it's still a
yeah. Analysis.
Beefy.
Man, that's great. How do you not? You this is a
that's
Tex.
awesome.
It's not a Cleveland TV station.
Right. No. That was Good Morning America, though.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would still say.
Do you feel like they should have better fact checking? Like Beefy?
Yeah. I mean, that's Hoda.
Hey, what's their mascot's name?
Beefy. The tech.
Beefy.
Oh, okay. I'll roll with it.
What a sign of things to come. Few things better in this world than when serious news people have to try to do sports. I love it.
And here's this weekend's birthdays. Buenos Tardes, Wizard of the Whisker Biscuit. Today is my nephew Jason's Brad Johnson birthday.
13?
More Southern Belle Blake from Abel. Which is certainly a biblical name, right?
Yeah.
I'm just glad you missed that.
What? You had like a little voice affect bit or something? What's your...
Oh!
Yeah,
It
maybe
is a good bit.
Maybe come out of the break. Actually, or maybe never again.
Is that in this month?
Nah, it's gone.
Danny
found some audio of me 10 years ago.
Yeah, somebody uncovered Blake reading spots for like Argyle football or something 10 years ago. It's great. Yeah, I'll find them for you. Dear Uncle Battle Axe Wound Butcher, I want to wish my heterosexual life partner Justin Price happy Derek Holland birthday.
45.
We are planning to head to an Argyle Lady Eagles basketball game soon to see if we can drag some MILFs out of there.
Blake, what do you know about that?
Maybe some gills.
What's a sit rep?
No comment.
I'm not asking you to do what you do off the air and rate the team. I'm asking about the moms.
What do you think?
I don't have a great feel for Argyle.
I think
pretty solid.
I think it'd be partly to mostly MILFy.
I mean, it's not like I'm asking you about Granbury. I can tell you what's cooking out there.
I'll just say
grits.
I would imagine the demographic of Grapevine and Argyle are very similar.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Nothing's touching South Lake. Although probably like the Park Cities and shit like that's.
You want to go to a South Lake game?
I told you, man. You go to the DMV here. What?
Since 1976, Orthopedic Associates has provided all-inclusive orthopedic services and expertise to Flower Mound in Louisville. With 8 board-certified physicians in orthopedic specialties, Orthopedic Associates offers a full spectrum of musculoskeletal care, along with in-house physical therapy and state-of-the-art technology, including our digital imaging and open MRI, and an on-site surgical center for more patient convenience. All this in one facility, along with on-call availability 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, enables continuity of care close to home. Orthopedic Associates, experience you can trust.
That does sound,
after 10 takes.
That does sound like 10 years ago. Easily, right?
It sounds like he's 11.
Yeah.
Like, somebody let their son read the...
that does work.
Or daughter? Not sure. Can't stand.
Could have used the music bed.
Oh, anyway, this is Saxon.
You really should have been a youth leader.
Come on, guys.
I mean, yeah, you could have.
Who loves the Lord? Let me hear from you. Uncle Clam Slammer.
I got to be honest. Of all of the euphemisms we have for the vagina, clam has got to be my least favorite. That's
Really?
Yeah, that's just disgusting.
Well, you shouldn't have said that.
I'd like to wish my wife Shara Rogers happy Don Drysdale birthday. Her leaders are Jake's short-term rental backyard tables. Welcome back, Jake. Blah, blah, proud of you.
Please, moratorium on those.
Why? You're brave.
You're so brave, dude.
Such assholes.
Where's your cape? You should be on The Boys.
I could be, because I'm a regular guy doing cool stuff. Tonight on The Boys.
In fact,
Batman,
one of the superheroes was
Batman misses
I
an
swear to
AA
God,
meeting.
This is life imitating something, right? There is a boy that.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
He was a
Batman's
soup.
dealing with
One of the
DTs.
soups. One of the soups was dealing with some issues. They're just like us.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, anyway, that's from Brian Subby 2252.
It's just really funny to me to imagine like Robin having to sign up for like Rocket Money because he has a bunch of subscriptions that keep hitting his bank account.
It's absolutely the thing.
He's like, fuck, I thought I canceled that on time. It was a 30-day trial.
Aquaman wants to watch the Chiefs game, but he doesn't have Peacock.
Right, yeah. His son's having to call him and
talk him through. All right, here's the No, you're left. Hit the thing, yeah.
All right, now check your email for the code.
Oh, man. That show sounds awesome.
Dear Hound of the Hatchet Wound, it is my son Lucas's 12th birthday. His leaders are Blake, Jake's pronunciation of pavilion.
Pavilion? How do you say it?
And Jake's giant new fake jugs.
How do you say that word? Is it not pavilion?
Sounds right.
I don't know. Sounds like you're doing great. I'm proud of you for saying that word.
Dude.
Let's see. More hosts going to rehab, less electrons. Keep doing what you're doing. Chase that money. Elias. 2 more. Uncle Cleveland Moose Knuckle. Subscriber 7027. Saturday is my Jim Brown, Ernie Davis, and John Wallace at Syracuse birthday. Leaders are San Marcos, Little HEB.
Yeah.
Dan's launch vicinity during his wife's book club nights.
Used to be able to get a keg of Zegan for $46 from that HEB.
And
Different
Bill's
time.
Mafia. Let's see. Josh Allen is football Luca.
Yeah, neither one a ring.
More squirt talk.
Did I miss
69 forever from BH. No, I think in the past you have indicated you do not like squirt talk.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if it had been picked back up. You know, in my absence, you guys are like, finally, we can talk squirt.
Yes, this will be great.
The governor's off of squirt talk. Yeah, I think it's really gross, and it takes a lot to gross me out on the sexual front.
Let's see if this one makes DeeZ TV. Hey there, King Jizzer and the Lick Her Wizard Sleeve. It is the 35th birthday of the great Neil Nussbaum.
That name sounds familiar.
From the Ryan and the Dick Warfare text group. Fun fact about Neil, he was in a band with someone on the Kempspin list. She's the ex-wife of a Texas Ranger who later went on to date a SoundCloud rapper who was friends with her daughter.
Wow. Katie.
So you feel that was a fun fact?
That is a fun fact.
That's the thing about promoting something as a fun fact.
I think any references of Katie and her Post Malone light boyfriend, I'm on board with. Oh, Katie.
All right, let's drain some veins.
Yep.
All of us together.
Ooh,
We'll
I like that.
Teach these
Play some
guys
swords?
how to do it in the den, and then we'll pick games and stuff.
Who's your least favorite DB to face?
One guy that comes to mind is Jordan Lewis, I think is his name, from the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I don't talk much unless someone's going to talk to me. You know, I block hard. I do all that. But he was talking crazy. Like, some shit I've never heard before. I'm like, yo, hold on. Like,
Something Amon-Ra St. Brown has never heard before.
Yeah, I'm not gonna expound, but
Oh,
I like. We gotta play.
How'd you
him.
know where I was going?
I don't know. As soon as you played the clip, I knew exactly. But I knew that. I know I'm playing him again, so I gotta. You know what I mean? I can't give you all of my secrets. See, you trying to get all my secrets. I can't give to you.
Yeah. It is kind of cool that they're good now.
Yeah, it is, and I like the fact that he said the least favorite. That's I didn't know that part. I like that.
Like you
part.
got in his head.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's exactly.
You're never
why I
supposed
did.
to admit that.
No, he did. No, I can't stop.
Is that always part of your game? Just
No,
chatter.
No, certain people. If I have some type of like vendetta, like anybody from Detroit, you know, I'm from Detroit.
Okay.
Detroit didn't pick me. I love Dallas. Don't get me wrong, but I mean it's just Detroit, you know. So and they're good now. So I'm just like, I'm gonna talk mess to their best receiver.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Yes, indeed. Veins have been drained. Eatsies has been eaten. And we are ready for the second half of the program, which will start off with picking games.
No puppet. Yeah, there it is.
Did you miss that?
I did.
So joining us to pick games, as they do every week, we're going to bring them all on at once. We're trying to, as they are now privy to, we're trying to increase our technology each and every week, getting just 0.05% better each week.
Atomic habits.
And here we have not only Chappie, Mike Soroy, and Jasmine, who we have seen in the past few weeks, but a man whose name I haven't heard in a long time. That would be Akaash Singh. All four of them join us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for being patient with me.
You're
we have
alive.
He is alive. He's been very busy.
Very busy.
Yeah.
Nowhere to be found when in last place. And then he pops his head up to the top, and guess who's got the camera working again?
Yeah, I honestly thought me coming on might be bad luck because the first week I went over, and I was like, maybe me missing is the best thing that could possibly happen. I don't know. So,
You went over, and I was like, all right, well, Akaash is out of this thing.
He needs to go last. He needs to go last because the last 3 weeks he's 14-1. So we need to hear what
You know what that is? That's a man who is in the orbit, in the aura of the big man.
14-1.
Yeah,
Well, that's
by the
before-
way I got it, he's 5-0, 5-0, 4-1.
Chappie watches
Winning,
this
but-
way too close.
I'm well aware.
winning.
He wrote me.
Chappie's handicapping
Well,
us.
I mean, you got to start looking at maybe, hey, put some juice on what he's calling out here until he starts falling down off of
Every
it.
single day when I was away, I would go to the little mail thing and I would have my tattered clothes and I would put my face up to the window to see if my family wrote me. And my dad did, but all he wrote me was just his pics.
You think that's funny? You think that's funny? I don't think that's funny.
Yeah, what's it like to hang with Donald Trump? Akaash on his on the flagrant.
Undeniably awesome. I don't care how you vote. I really don't. I'm not even gonna vote. But I mean, just a very nice, hilarious guy.
Did he bring up Mike Soroy's coins? Did he bring up the Trump coins at all?
Yeah, was he selling coins on site at all? Because he's offering a deal. I'm like, I need a third.
Secret Service gave me, one of the Secret Service guys gave me like a Secret Service coin, which is worth nothing at all, but it was very cool to get from Secret Service as opposed to a
Wait,
bullet.
they hand out coins? Why do they have coins?
He just had one. He was like, I have a Secret Service coin if you want it. I was like, yeah, I want
He
it.
totally bullshit you. It was like a quarter. Like he's like, here's my lucky coin.
Yeah, it's some kind of, it's dog shit, but it's like, nobody's gonna pay anything for this, but I'll take it.
Sure.
And Akaash was on eBay in 10 minutes, just checking, like, fuck, all right, forget it.
Trump gave it to me, I'd sell it for thousands.
I saw you guys.
Akash isn't us. He's doing all right.
People were real. People were all over Kamala and call her, or was it Call Me Daddy? And you guys just
Call Her
came out
Daddy.
and Call Her Daddy and smashed it by like 3 times the views. You guys
Yeah,
might have
I mean,
swung
look-
the election, and I'm halfway not kidding.
I actually have had that thought, which it's a crazy thought. But to be fair, most of her views are probably audio and Spotify, which is not going to show up on YouTube. And YouTube, at least our audience, leans a little bit more right wing. I actually thought Kamala was good on Call Her Daddy, and I told Trump's guy I was like, you should go on that podcast. I don't know if well, clearly he didn't listen because he called her a moron the next day.
Yeah, but he gave you a quarter.
So what's that like as far as the prep for Secret Service coming in, or Trump coming in somewhere? How is that all?
It was nuts. First of all, the 3 days before, all we did was calls. We had like hours and hours of talking everything out, and it was really nice to have Andrew kind of leading it because like his ego is big enough that this doesn't feel big for him, whereas I'm melting down. And then he said a couple things first that was like, look, everybody's going to have an opinion before they even listen to the episode, so don't worry about appeasing anyone. Just ask the questions that are important to you, which was very helpful. And then he said they're going to try to end this interview. Whoever Trump's handlers is going to try to end this interview early. Don't even fucking look at them.
Yeah.
Don't make eye contact. Ignore them like nothing is happening.
I
And
learned
then
that
let
from
Trump
Dan.
tell you.
I learned that from Dan a long time ago. Just don't even look.
Yeah.
Don't even look. And then
Yeah.
sometimes the handler will
Frantic.
try to move into
Two
your
arms.
move into your field of vision, and you just rotate with them. So that he's just never. They're never really there, and it's great. It
Yeah.
works. It works.
But then, yeah, to your point, Dan, I had to get there 2 hours early, and like our camera crew had to get there 5 hours early. So they did most of the security checks with them. Since I was with them, it wasn't as bad to get in. But before Trump walked in, they had already had like dogs sniffing around like 4 hours earlier. And then before Trump comes in, they have a bomb sniffing dog come up again.
Well, how? If they've all been eaten, aren't Haitians eating them?
No, it's a good point.
How are all the
Yeah. For lunch, they brought him in.
Yeah, that was actually it was like an appetizer. But yeah, that was wild. That's when you're like, oh, this is a really we're interviewing the president, like legitimately former whatever. This is an insane thing that's happening.
Damn.
And I thought the week before was a great show because
that honestly is my favorite.
They had the cubes in for like 2.5 hours. It was
I
awesome.
did see that.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, but I did see that.
I told this to Dan already, Jake, but I brought you guys up to Cuban. Or actually, Schultz brought you guys up to Cuban, and then I told him the story of how I got you guys to quit the ticket and start your own. And he called Cumulus morons, so I feel I'm not the only person who... They're not going to sue him, I bet.
No, they're already done with you, so yeah, good money now.
No, they that suit perhaps was to they won't go with a guy with deeper pockets than they would.
Sure,
right?
enough.
That could
Yeah.
outlast them. That was a war of attrition, and yes, you're always going to beat us on that.
With money-wise.
Very World War I-ish.
Ah, yes.
Jake.
I'm very familiar.
Did you read?
Dude, the German ship just crossed over to meet at Constantinople, and I feel like things are about to get really bad. Really, really bad, really, really fast. World War I, guys.
Spoiler alert, they do.
What a mess. What a mess.
You know, a fun fact, they didn't call it World War I at the time. Yeah.
That's what you got out of it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I know a lot about history. Anyway, we can look at our picks, and yes, Akaash Singh on top of all the picks. Now, so this is before meeting Trump, 14-1.
Yeah.
We'll see what that aura does to
God knew
your
it was
pick.
going to happen, to be honest.
Good point. And you have the lucky Secret Service coin now. Or
I
is
do
it?
have that. I honestly hate leading. I feel a lot of pressure with this right now.
Yeah, well, we're all going to kind of – I'm going to bet my mortgage this weekend based on what you say. You are 16-9 overall after a rough start. Soroy second at 14-11. Chappie embarrassed after a 1-4 week. He's 13-12. Jasmine then leads the way with all of us that are below 500. She's 10-15. Jake at 9-16, but of course Jake will have the excuse that other people were picking for him, and he'll be able to ride that excuse right to the end of the year.
No. The real reason is he's an alcoholic and we don't let that slide. Really not. That's your fault at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. I need universal self-acceptance, Akaash.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the real reason is Jake has a disease.
Blake went 0-5 last week.
Just like
He's
cancer.
at 8-17, and I am at the very, 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 very bottom at 7-18.
Is that right, Dan? I mean, that's really your record?
I don't need to hear it from you.
Like he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Chappie knows what's happening. So every week, here's how we do it, Jake. And those who don't know how we do it, we will pick basically just 3 games, but it equals 5. Because one is a triple play. One is the Cowboys game. The Cowboys this week getting 3 points at home against the Lions. How much has changed in a year? Weren't the Lions here at the end of the year last year, and the Cowboys might have been favored by a touchdown? They were favored by quite a bit, as I recall. And then our last pick is a knockout pick, and it's really just something to – it just means pick a winner, no spread, and it's because we started a knockout league, and we thought, oh, my gosh, we'll be able to – let's see how far we can go. I think we were all out after, like, week 1. Or week 2 at least.
Definitely week 2.
Like I picked the Bengals week 1, and they lose to New England at home. And I'm terrible at these for some reason. Just the knockout pick. And the knockout thing has been terrible for knockout leagues across the land. For instance, we have a knockout league, show-related, just show listeners have all joined a knockout league. Started with, you say, 400?
Somewhere between 700 and 800.
800?
Yeah.
How many are in it today after 5 weeks?
2?
2?
2 or 3.
People?
Yeah.
I thought it was like 40.
Now it's down to, like 2 or 3.
Wow.
Do we allow the, hey,
No.
do you want to just split it?
No.
Did you tell them no?
No, I don't. Yeah. We're gonna hand out one big check. We're going to get a big check and give it to him.
We can get a big check.
Because I believe the last 2 guys asked,
No.
can they just bow out and split?
They
split
should
it
both
right
be
now?
eliminated just for asking, you pussies. What are you worried about? Come on.
Man, Jake's
this is for
back.
charity, too.
Yeah.
Can we get a big
I
check
know,
for the charity?
Jake's
Oh,
back,
yeah.
and I
of
love
course.
it.
All right. Do you guys decide on a charity while I was gone?
We've decided that we are going to share the wealth.
Okay.
And Jared Sandler's charity is going to get a P. We're just going to put a little here, a little here, a little here, all over the place.
Okay.
I believe we sponsored a team in the Komen Walk last weekend, so we've already donated some of that money.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yes, you did.
There you go.
So I want to make sure none of this is going to leagues of, female sports where they're letting boys play.
Nah. We would never do that.
No, I'm not on board with that.
No.
Right,
Shut that
Chappie?
down.
Chappie, you're against that, right?
Oh yeah.
Actually, I am. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that.
Safest play on
Not
the
a
board.
big fan of that at all.
Yeah.
Well, it's happening so much.
Well, they're just hard to
Yeah.
bet, right, Chappie?
Yeah, it is.
Minus 800.
I mean, that's really the only reason I care about it.
They're hard to bet.
So I know this gives all the people in the den here going first, but if you want to go worst record to best record, that's usually the way we should do these things, so everybody doesn't steal everybody's picks. No one wants to steal my picks. So I will go first. Cowboy game, triple play, and a knockout pick. And I am going to bet against the Cowboys this week.
What the?
They are getting 3 points at home, yet they have tons of injuries. I know they're getting some defensive secondary back, but still no pass rush or pass rush to speak of this week probably again. Detroit is awesome. Detroit is coming off a bye, and they lost that close game here last year. So I think they're going to want to win this game. Give me the Lions, the Kitties,
okay.
The Motor City Kitties. Then for my triple play, I am infatuated with the DQ and the turnaround of the Washington team, Pat. They are on the road, but not too far from home. They're at Baltimore, who I think is one of the top, definitely 5 teams in the NFL, if not one of the top 2. But they are getting 6.5 points at Baltimore. Baltimore has a tendency to let teams back in the game, even if they do get a big lead. I don't know that they can get that big lead against Washington because Washington has a tendency to score on every possession. So give me Washington to cover that. And my knockout pick, which I'm not very good at this year, but nobody is, it seems, except for Akaash.
I hadn't really had a chance, but
Akaash, who seems to be great at everything. For my knockout pick, give me Philadelphia. Do you see who they're playing at home?
Is it Cleveland?
The Brownies.
It is the Browns, who are circling the drain in disarray. Pets' heads are falling off, and they can do nothing about it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It really is awesome.
They are locked into Deshaun Watson and the happy baby pose. So there we go. That's my picks. Up now we go to Blake Jones.
All right, for the Cowboys game, I'm with you, Dan. I think the Cowboys suck. The Lions are well rested.
This is great news considering I see he's 0-5 in Cowboys picks.
I think Dan Campbell really wants to win bad here. The Cowboys have not played well at home, but I'm 0-5 picking Cowboys games.
Oh, no.
So I have to do something different, giving the Cowboys to cover the spread. Triple play, the Bucs are pretty good. Baker is playing pretty well. They're playing a Saints team that's going to start Spencer Rattler, and the Bucs are only getting 3.5. I think they cover that.
Oh, that's pretty spicy. Little former OU matchup.
Give me the
apparently just only to me.
I am absolutely fired up about that.
I feel like we're also in a good spot in the Baker cycle as well. So give me the Bucs minus 3.5. Knockout, I'm going to go Bengals. There's no way in hell the Giants can win back-to-back games. Burrow's going to get this thing right. Jamar Chase went off last week. He'll do it again. Give me the Bengals for knockout.
All righty. You've never taken the Bengals yet?
No.
Okay, because you can't take the same team twice, apparently. Now up to Jake, whose record has been shaped by others. And himself, though, if you really want to look in the mirror.
Very
my friend.
true.
Yeah.
So are we allowed to do college?
Yeah.
I just see nobody's picked. Well, I guess I haven't seen everybody's.
The Cowboy game can't be college. And I don't think the knockout game
couldn't be either, I suppose. All right, I will take, of course, the Cowboys. This is going to be the one where Dak takes out all that frustration over people invading his privacy by trying to crash his Dude Perfect shoot at his house demolition. I feel bad for the Lions, okay? I don't even need the points, but I'll take them if you guys are going to be so generous.
Why don't you just take him as your knockout if you don't need the points?
I want to save that
Tough
one.
guy.
Why don't you triple play it then?
Because I have one that I really like. I want to get just real fucking weird with it right off the bat. I want to take Mississippi State plus 34 against Georgia. I love the massive SEC spread. I love that. Nobody cares about the game, but I'll watch it all day when they're down 28, just seeing if they can hold on.
Okay.
That's gambling to me, bud. I don't want you want a top 3 matchup? You want Ohio State, Oregon, 3-point spread? Boring.
Who couldn't do that? Yeah.
And for the knockout, it's I can't remember who they have, but it's Texans over the Patriots. Come on. Are the Patriots still with Drake May?
I like it.
They just went
his
back
first
to
start
us?
is Drake May
Sunday,
this
okay.
weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a bit controversial. Many thought he should have started last weekend because they played the Dolphins, who have, as you know, Mike, kind of feels like a lost season right now for the Dolphins.
Won last week? No. Although I did like the Patriots plus 7 in that game, Jacob. I will warn you. But yeah, straight up, they'll probably lose. So you're good.
Okay.
It's been signed off from above by Mike Soroy.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean, that's
fine.
legit.
You're fine. Got
All
the
right.
red last week. 0 for 3.
Our last under 500 participant for the year is Jasmine.
What's up? It's me. Mike hacked my hat idea, so
That's tough.
it's all good. Yeah, fucking captain bit was mine until he swooped in. Hey, before I get to my picks, you guys brought up something about DFW gilfs and milfs. And I know March Madness is, yes, I piqued your interest. March Madness obviously is a ways away, but why don't you guys do a DFW MILFs and GILFs bracket?
Okay.
We do.
We can sponsor it.
We do love brackets.
Yes.
That's right.
You do.
Yep.
DFW MILFs and GILFs. I'm just putting it out there. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get to my picks.
I can
Who
tell
are we
you
talking about? Let's throw
well,
a
I can
couple
tell
out
you
there.
right now, probably not a one, but
Beth Van Dunn.
Oh yeah, Beth Van Dune. I think is it or is it Dunn?
Former
Van Dyne.
Mayor
Van Dyne,
of,
yeah.
yeah.
Former mayor of Irving, who is now.
Karen Borda.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It's really just a matter.
Yeah,
if
obviously
you-
we go to TV.
Yeah, it's really just a matter if you have to do like a full news region or if they're peppered in. Because while she's not a one, probably not a two, a three that I look to make some noise is definitely Jane. Jane McGarry's.
Jane McGarry?
Yeah, she's still.
Gilf bracket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I guess I haven't taken a look at
we can put this
Jane
together.
McGarry lately.
Is Tammy Dombeck still here?
No, she's not. That is so random.
Yeah, random. Not like I think about her every day.
That was so random and oddly
this is
specific,
solid
actually.
for sure.
I guess I haven't looked at Jane McGarry and reduced her great career into just whether or not she looks hot lately. So,
well, I have.
Okay.
Now's your chance.
Yeah, no, this is great. There's plenty out there.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay,
some
let's do it.
ladies
Let's
who
work
work
on it.
for like they appear in ads for their home repair companies and stuff. You know, wives of the guy. That's always a solid play.
Car dealership wife.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, it's endless. You guys could make this. We need this bracket.
And
Can I put my wife's best friend in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally,
2 days in a row.
totally.
But you got something going on over there, Chief.
Well, everything's fine. Everything's great.
South Lake does have a huge percentage of swingers, though. So
That's what I've heard.
you never know.
There you go.
You never know.
I'll never tell.
Okay. Yeah. All right. On to my picks. I'm going to make this quick because we know less of sports talking from chicks is more. So give me the Lions -3.
Finally, someone gets it.
Finally, someone gets it.
Oh.
Give me the Lions -3. I'm so over the Cowboys. I'm already looking forward to the NFL schedules being released for next year. Like I was 3 games ago. So I'm over it. Oh, I'm over it. No, fuck this whole thing. I'm so tired of it. Like now the big news story is our quarterback getting pissy pants because his home is getting demoed by dudes. Like, fuck off. It's so stupid. Anyway, Lions -3. My lock/triple play, I'm going college. Give me Wazoo -3.5 to beat Fresno State.
Okay.
And yes,
Why?
I'm doing this. I'm owning it because here's my strategy. Because college is so fucking willy-nilly with their giant point spreads. I'm like, all right, the safe one now is to just go super small spread in college because college puts up crazy points. So I'm like, let me just get this. So I like whittled it down to like what made the most sense in my brain. So there you go.
Okay.
Because Ohio State fucked me the last time I picked them this year by Marshall. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
So stupid. Marshall of all. Anyway, my knockout pick, Bears over Jags. Give it to me.
In
Give it to
England,
me.
Jags are historically a pretty good team in England.
Well, not now, not tonight, or not Sunday.
That's a degenerate bet right there.
Just giving you an opportunity to back out.
I just got to get this out of the way right when I wake up.
Here's something
I
you
can't.
missed last week, Jake. Apparently, an army guy gave Jasmine crabs.
Oh damn, that sucks.
He did not give me crabs. He gave me bed bugs, and one was in my knee.
Bed bugs.
I swear
yeah,
to
I don't
God,
know.
it was not crabs.
Dude, for 12 hours, I couldn't get the thought of in your knee out of my head.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
It was under the skin.
It was under the skin. It was like I still have a scar. First of all, I can't have crabs.
Was it the first
because
time you had crabs?
I've never had crabs because crabs have to burrow onto something. And because I've been in radio forever, everything on me is lasered. I'm like a toddler. I have no hair. So
It's
like,
not that bad.
Jesus.
So-
I don't really see the correlation, to be honest.
there's
Why?
nothing for it to hold on to. So I can't have crabs.
It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Now,
Wait, I'm
now,
sorry.
if you don't get them off of you got to go get some Quill shampoo because if them little bastards start multiplying in your clothes, you're dead.
I have never had crabs.
Oh, come on.
It's fine, Jasmine. It's a
You're in
common
a safe
thing.
space.
Yeah,
Come on.
everybody. We're all cool.
Really? It's
Can I
that
be honest?
common?
As a New Yorker, I would way rather sleep with a girl with crabs and bed bugs. Those are much easier to get rid of.
Yeah, bed bugs are a
Not even a
bitch.
question.
bed bugs are a bitch. I had to just throw out my bed. It was so bad. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Also, what's the correlation
you did.
between you doing radio and having no?
I was gonna say, why does radio mean no
Yeah,
pubes?
I'm not seeing it.
Because y'all know in radio you either get your eyes done or everything on your body lasered if you're a chick. So
Why?
everything on me has been done. Why? Because it's free. and why
Oh,
would you
trade.
not?
Okay.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
Like you got Lucy's and
yeah, beer,
couple
and
factor meals. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
CBD.
yeah.
So
That's your blue
you're telling me that
boners.
Yeah,
I got a constant boner.
You're telling me the Eagles' Cindy Skull was smooth as silk?
Probably at one point we're
Hell
all
yeah.
endorsing the same damn laser hair place.
Hell yeah. I don't like having pubes either. Hook me up.
Hey, if y'all want to get it done, we can get someone to zap those.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Anyways,
It's painful though. It's painful.
All right, so the Bears.
The Bears. Sunday
Oh
night.
yeah, so the Bears. Yeah, the Bears.
The Bears.
9:30 a.m. on Sunday. We move up now to people that are over 500, and that's why we will take what you guys say very seriously. We have to put football music behind you.
Makes sense.
Because you football people know what you're doing. And we start with Greg Chappie Kemp, who
looks like my screen is frozen, but
yeah.
Oh my God!
No way.
So somehow the not leading the way in technology of all the participants here.
I'm going to take for my knockout the crab -8. Oh, no, that's not good.
Real funny,
All right.
Chappie.
Yep.
I thought we
Let
were
me
cool.
start over. Let me first
Maryland.
say I'm going to take the Cowboys +3. And I was the only one last week to take the Cowboys against Pittsburgh. And I'm going to ride the Cowboys again.
Why?
I'm going to take the Cowboys. Why?
Yeah, let's
because I think somehow or another it's going to be finally a few points generated by Dallas. I'm not that impressed with the Lions' defense. I think they used to be dominant at AT&T. They have not this year. They've lost both games, but I feel like Dallas will maybe something kind of galvanized last week against Pittsburgh. They don't have a running back room, but I still think somehow Dallas hangs around and at least with the +3 covers the spread.
Okay, now is this a game, because this is what you do for real. Like, is this a game you'd actually stay away from if you didn't have to pick it with us?
Yeah, I'm not betting this. This week I've got 6 on the card. 4 of those are college. I've got some really dandy college games that I'm playing, so I'm not playing a Cowboy game.
All right.
Okay, so I'll take the Cowboys +3. My knockout, I'm going to go with the Eagles. I've lost almost every knockout I have played. In fact, I'm like 1-4 against knockouts. So I just can't imagine the Browns beating the Eagles. It is the highest line of the week. Maybe that's why I've been getting burnt. I've been going to the high lines, and they just don't even win the game. But I'm going to take the Eagles. And then for my lock of the week, Sunday night, I'm going to take the Bengals. The Bengals they're -3.5. They're playing the Giants. Malik Willis is not playing.
Neighbors.
Neighbors, I'm sorry.
Neighbors
I
is
think
out?
because-
Oh, I thought he was back
Yeah.
this week.
No, he's back out.
Don't you think his absence has really allowed Daniel Jones to do what he does best? Like, it's all been about him, and he's had a couple good games.
Well, he was at a Travis Scott concert getting all litty. Did y'all see that? And people are pissed.
Yeah, I saw that.
What?
Okay.
I mean, Higgins and Chase are back on the field. Let me tell you something. The Giants aren't put together to handle a shootout. The Giants are not one of these boat racing teams. Look at last week, the Bengals went into overtime with the Ravens. Do you think that the Giants could put up what the Ravens did? No. This score is going to be Bengals 30, Giants 13. All you got to do is cover 3.5. So that's my lock of the week is the Bengals minus 3.5.
Your triple play.
Triple play, yes.
Okay.
Chappie's lock of the week.
Still have that, huh?
So, just for my own curiosity, what's your other NFL play?
I got a couple, but mainly I'm leaning more on college this week.
I know you said you have 6 plays and 4 were college. Therefore, I'm just doing some math here, figuring you have one more good NFL for me.
I like the Commanders that you took plus the 6.5. I mean, Washington's defense
That's what I want to hear.
is not
That's the only
that
reason
good.
he asked.
Well, I just wondered if I'm in a couple other leagues here, and if Chappie can give me a little
Okay,
advice, and people listening, I want it.
I'll give you 2 more. I like Denver.
He only asked
at
for
home.
one. He had only asked for the one.
I'm going to write down Denver, though. I will take the other one real quick.
Pretty rough crowd.
All right. Let's move up then. In second place with a 14-11 mark, despite going 0-5 last week.
Wow.
It is Mike Soroy back in Texas. He's been in Florida. He was at his mom's house showing us her Trump coin collection a couple weeks ago.
Oh, man.
And her Trump hat.
Socks,
and in fact,
bobbleheads,
she has a Trump Bible.
Oh, really? I heard those are made right here in
printed
the
in
United
China.
States. Oh, yeah.
Like she owns, if
No.
Trump has sold it, she owns it.
I still have some
The Trump
straws.
Bible has all his favorite verses.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
2 Corinthians.
entire Bible.
I actually still have my Trump straws if she wants them.
Do you have
Our
Trumpy
birthday
Bear?
is Halloween, October 31st, so send them over.
Trumpy
Trump
Bear died in
straws?
a car accident.
Oh, that's right.
Trump straws, well, because all the like lefty homos they use paper straws. Trump sold a bunch of like regular straws that just say Trump on them.
Yay.
It's awesome.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Makes total sense.
I got to imagine this, Akaash. I would think not, but did they give you anything like, hey, stay away from this, or this?
Dude, no. And so the tricky thing is, you know he can be combative, so you want to ask questions, but you don't want to piss him off and then ruin the interview to try to like dunk on him like all these other losers. But the only thing they asked was like, when you meet him, can you stand up to shake his hand? And we were like, yeah, man, we're not fucking animals. Like, of course we'll stand up to shake the president's hand. And then the only other thing, I asked one question. I don't remember what it was, but I said, we can edit this out if you need to, if you want to. And they said, hey, can you please take that out? Because then it might seem like we had you edit things out, and we do not want you to edit anything.
Yeah,
I thought that was actually cool the way they did
So
that.
what you edited out was you saying we could edit this out.
We can edit this out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
And they had to hit that for sure with the Kamala 60 Minutes thing. You know, like if they had any idea that was coming.
Yeah,
like her
I
answers
did
on
not-
60 Minutes were pretty heavily edited.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
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 Not a great
Well, apparently it's a 45-minute thing they had to cut down to 20, but they should have just, I don't know, just did
no,
not-
and what you do is you don't release one version of it and then try to walk it back later. But pretty much every interview you see is edited for clarity.
Yeah.
But they just did it in a real wonky way that does not look
The
great.
TV news thing, not usually podcast, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, Soroy.
all
But,
good.
you know, your whole Trump infatuation got us on that thread.
He's a good man. He's a great man. Speaking of great man, I watched the entire Netflix Vince McMahon documentary, and that is a good dude. You know, when you see the whole picture, the whole story, there's one good man.
I always suspected that.
Yeah. Now
He
you know,
misunderstood.
confirmed.
He just
Yeah, it's a good dude.
misunderstood.
Speaking of significant presidential interactions, I have adjourned to my backyard, and I am on the Lee Harvey Oswald staircase, the actual location where LHO used to live, and his picture was taken right there holding his little rifle.
Yep.
I couldn't think of anywhere cool to broadcast from, so I decided to come out here today.
So
to give
wait,
our out-of-state
you live
fans-
next door to that?
Yeah. I mean, that is where, you know, the rifle picture. holding
Yes,
the,
yeah. No, I've seen it.
That's it.
That's
yeah.
it?
Literally right there, yeah.
You live
And then
next
that's my
door to
shit.
the Lee Harvey Oswald house. Wow.
That's my shit, yeah. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And they don't have like
just
a
when I was waiting for
historical
you guys
marker or
to-
something?
No, and it's a shithole.
Well, yeah.
It's an eyesore. So if you don't know what it is, it's like not good for the neighborhood, considering it's touching my property. So I think they're trying to get the city to designate it as some sort of official memorial thing, but that's kind of dicey when you're talking about assassinations and whatnot. So I don't know how they're gonna.
Yeah.
To proudly refurbish it and put a big sign in front. So
Yeah, but I'm surprised some developer asshole hasn't knocked that down and built something on there.
No, I know, and it's such a tiny piece of property. It's almost not even a viable lot size, these days. It's really weird, but it looks like shit. Anyway, it's right here. I'm dubbing it the Lee Harvey Oswald Memorial Pavilion, as Jake might say from the previous segment. And you know what? Welcome back.
Don't do
I'm
it.
a Danny guy, but
Don't
I'm
do
glad you're here, I guess.
Thank you.
I'm a big Danny supporter.
Isn't he brave, Soroy?
But look at you. Look at you. He's so brave. You know what? Not in solidarity, but I have not had a drink in a week.
Oh, hey, all right. That's all. Yeah, that's pretty solid. There you go.
the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And part of it was I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go a week. If you'll remember last week, I was fucking barfing while doing this segment with you guys.
Yeah.
remember?
Yes, we do remember.
So I went last Saturday, the day after this. I freaking go to the emergency room, and I thought I was gonna have to get my appendix taken out, emergency surgery. I spent all of Saturday in the fucking ER.
All from a hangover?
I was not hungover. Something was wrong. Something was wrong. But the surgeons came in and they decided last second not to do it. But anyway, weird week. Haven't had a drink. Welcome back, Jake. Good for you. Danny guy. It's fine. All right. I'll go. I'm scared of the Lions look too fucking easy, to be honest. Like, the Lions have an incredible offensive line. The Cowboys have a shit and injured defensive line. The Cowboys have a shit defensive line or offensive line. The Cowboys have every line thing is a direct opposite, man. And I just don't know how they're going to run over the Cowboys nuts and how we can move the ball against them. Aiden Hutchinson's an animal. Like, this one seems so fucking easy. That's why I hate that Chappie went with the damn Cowboys.
Well, and it's like, why is it only 3 points?
Yeah. Well, it's a road
Isn't
game.
that a little weird?
It's very sus.
The
They
Cowboys
know
haven't been
something.
good at home, though. So
No.
A couple games.
I don't know.
I think that's more about the team they play and matchup than.
All right, it seems odd.
I like when it's fishy. I always go with the one that doesn't feel right, and I'm not doing it. I am going with Detroit -3, and I almost considered making them my triple play because I just don't get it. I don't overstat you all, but I read this one. And it's crazy. Dak Prescott basically sucks, especially against the spread against good teams. I mean, like, proven against the spread against teams over 500. He's 19-33 out of like 300 quarterbacks. That is almost dead last in covering the spread against plus 500 teams. He just eats up shit teams and shitty NFC East teams, and he doesn't do well against plus 500 teams against the spread. So I don't know. Give me Detroit -3, but I didn't triple play it, so just regular play there.
Do you stat talk Christina as foreplay?
No, I never do, but that stat I couldn't believe it.
That's pretty wild.
It's foreplay to me. Yeah, keep it coming.
Rock hard.
Yeah.
Since 2003,
Okay.
266
Oh, Jesus.
quarterbacks.
All right.
He's 263rd. 263rd out of 266 against plus 500 teams against the spread. Chappie, you're getting erect, I can tell.
No,
Don't say
my screen's froze. You can't tell how I look right now.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad. All right, triple. I'm going good day, mate, and going across the pond and taking the Bears -1. I hate that because I got to get up. And by the way, this segment's a little early for my current schedule, 12:15, but I don't know how I'm going to pull off the London game, but Jags D is bad. Caleb Williams is starting to go deep now. Keenan Allen's back. I also saw the Bears got there on like Tuesday, and the Jags, because of hurricane shit, didn't get there till Friday. I don't know if that means anything, but give me the Bears -1. And I'm taking Eagles in the knockout deal just because.
Because they're playing the Browns.
Yeah.
Well, the man who's had to wait a long time because he's in first place. 4-1 last week, 18-9 overall. Or excuse me, 16-9 overall.
I don't. I got very nervous because last week my triple was either going to be Washington or Green Bay, and I don't know why I said Green Bay, and then barely I got so lucky. So now I feel like there's a few good options, and I don't know what to choose. I'm thinking my first thought is what Saroy said with the Bears. Second thought is the team I'm already always going to try to pick against is the Cowboys.
What happened?
I have Green Bay happened. You saw it happen in real time. I broke. It's over. Actually, I'm enjoying kind of rooting against them, to be honest with you.
Doesn't it give you peace?
It's fun.
It
see
gives
why
you
everyone
peace.
hates us. If you try hating us for 2 games, you'll be like, I get it, and it's way better.
If you root against them, then you kind of win either way then, right? Because if they win, then you're
if
like...
they lose, I'm upset. If they win, I'm upset. The last game of Pittsburgh, I couldn't fucking believe it. I was like, well, how do you do this? Just lose.
See, they make a win feel like a loss.
Yeah.
How?
No, I'm rooting against them. I hate them right now. I want Jerry and Steven to lose the team, and then I'm back in. I just
Good
need
luck.
one of the survivors to come forward. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's
couple
what you-
more fun babies, couple unconsensual ones. Let's just start talking. You know what I mean? Let's just get the dialogue going. Not because I care about the victims. I just want them to sell the team.
Yeah.
I don't want to pretend I'm a better person. than I
Brandon Aubrey deserves better than this bullshit.
He'll
You and I
find
went to the
another
same
job.
middle school. I'm twice his age, but we went to the same middle school. I got fireworks when I asked for sexual assault victims to come forward. I don't know what that's about. But
Okay.
that's interesting timing. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely betting against the Cowboys. My triple would either be Detroit. I don't know if I can do that.
Sure.
Or the Bills or the Dolphins. The only thing that scares me about the Bills is that the Jets just fired Salah, so maybe the team will rally around a new coach. You know what? In the interest of having fun, let's just go with the Bills as my triple. And then my knockout league, I'm agreeing with Dan. Until Deshaun Watson is out of there, they're not going to have any chance of winning anything.
Is
So,
it Salah?
Eagles, why not?
That was a thing we were learning earlier this year, right? Salah? And now he gets
Salah.
fired and we don't have to know it? Like, I always thought it was Salah.
It'd be Saleh. Just based on spelling, but I don't know.
I would have always thought it was Saleh, but...
Because I think we always used to say Salah, and then I've heard
Can
earlier
we
this
phone
year
a Lebanese?
it's Salah.
Can't we phone a Lebanese and ask him?
Phone a Leb?
Yeah.
A Lebtard? Lebtard.
Yeah, but didn't they say something like, okay, it was either Aaron Rodgers who got him fired, or like he wore like the Lebanese flag or something on his sleeve, and they're like, you're out of here.
He's been wearing that, though, is what I saw. I think it was
I
more
thought he
just...
burned a flag in the Seahawks locker room.
Yeah, I
that's
think
what I
that,
thought.
yeah. There was an image that went viral on 4chan. That's right. Yeah, he was
There's one person-
burning the flag of Israel.
There's one person that got him fired, and only one.
Yep.
There's only one person that got him fired.
Alan Lazard.
And I don't think he's good enough to.
And he's looking for any life raft he can find because of his abysmal season so far.
My dad
this
has
year.
hated Aaron Rodgers since the second he saw his face 20 years
I
ago.
can tell. I can
And-
absolutely tell.
And there you go. Why don't you just keep Nathaniel Hackett calling them big, big plays? And it's
Just let it go.
2024 now, dude.
Guy's a Hall of Famer.
So there you go.
Chappie,
So
were
that
you a
really
big Brett
fixes
Favre guy?
the problem. Yeah. Huh?
Were you a big Brett Favre guy? Is that where all this hate comes from?
I like Brett Favre.
Of course you do.
I really like
Yeah,
Brett Favre. I mean, he might be close to being in the penitentiary scam in Southern Miss, but I like the dude.
Yeah, probably because of that. Yeah, yeah.
Tappy, who's your favorite football player of all time?
Roger Staubach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, that's back when the team was a team.
Okay, yeah, that's probably.
Okay, go
Legit.
on.
Go
Yeah,
legit.
men.
Yeah,
I've been
we're,
saying this.
we're pretty good.
I've been saying this for
Hey.
the past 5 days. We got to make America great again.
Yeah, that's
Navy
right.
man.
Bring
You're on
back
there.
the 1900s Cowboys.
Hey,
1900s
Blake,
Cowboys. were killing.
1900s. People would typically say
Yes.
like the 90s. What do you think they were playing like at Petticoat Junction?
No. Okay, so Roger Staubach's era was in the 1900s.
Okay,
right?
but nobody says
He's
that.
throwing the ball forward. He's
Pretty
throwing the
wide.
ball.
Okay,
Dan,
but
Dan,
Sorry, that was too.
Yeah.
Dan, did you like that picture I sent y'all of the two old guys in the lawn chairs?
That was the most dad dad picture text. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
Halloween
that's
decoration.
definitely all over Facebook.
Oh, that's right.
Halloween decoration that says "Waiting on our Cowboys to win the Super Bowl" with a sign, and it's just a dead couple that are skeletons. That shit is that's so dad.
Can you give me some feedback on that, Blake? Didn't you think that was a little funny?
Why do you need affirmation from me?
Yeah, Blake.
Yeah, Blake.
Okay.
You're the
All right.
Baron of bits.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be pretty darn good, those people sitting in those lawn chairs.
No. We got the whole concept. It tracks. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
All right.
Two skeletons.
Yeah, so it's been so long. All right, well, thanks, everybody. Akaash, might talk to you this weekend. Good times.
Yes, absolutely.
Good to have you back. And
Yeah, good to have you guys. Hey, love you, buddy.
we'll
Love you
all
too,
do
man.
this again next Friday.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
Later.
They're gonna
Tell
stay
your
up.
friends to get laser.
A very special welcome back to Jake, who's
Yes.
back on the show this week.
That's right. Aren't
A
they?
very
Go to hell, Soroy.
All right, we're going to work one more break in here. We'll,
All right.
all right, guys.
Bye, DF.
Bye.
What's up, fellas? If you suffer from a wispy flavor saver and look like an 8th grade boy, when in fact you a grown-ass man and you desperately want to get hot love from some sweet baddies, pimping a dope stash like vintage Burt Reynolds on Cialis, but the only thing holding you back is that sad caterpillar on your upper lip, then smear some Larry Bird's mustache fertilizer on your face and watch the love grass grow. Get some ass this weekend by going to LarryBirdsMustacheFertilizer.crap/Larry and get free shipping. Larry Bird's Mustache Fertilizer. Let's get it on.
That's right. Another break.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Which I guess we have to do when doing the video thing sometimes. And it allows Blake to stitch it all together later.
Extra?
Do you put an extra stitch on it on a Friday?
Sometimes.
Make it extra tight? All right. That's just a bonus no puppet. What do you think of that?
I love it.
How about some news?
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
Well, we'll wrap up hurricane coverage today. As I told you guys yesterday.
It's over? It's gone?
Yes. Yeah. We talked about Lieutenant Dan. By the way, I think we topped out at 16 deaths is the number we have today. Is that anybody else see that? Am I crazy?
Is that limited? Is that good?
I think it
Seems
is,
like a
to be
lot.
honest. It is a lot, but it's also how many were Katrina? 1,900.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dang.
So when they were saying, hey, this is the second biggest one to make landfall, I thought, well, okay, that's what I was sizing it up against. But
did you see the place where the Devil Rays play?
Tropicana, the top is gone. They popped the top, dropped the top on the drop.
Yeah, got ripped apart.
That was
It's
pretty
amazing.
good. I like it. Thank you.
I wonder. Wait, you just said what you said was pretty good?
Yeah, he was laughing.
You can't do that though.
Watch me. What are you gonna do about it?
It's new Jake.
This ain't on Fox. What the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Well, now it's not going to be on Fox.
Just call you brave and courageous for coming back.
Write that time down, Blake. So the story yesterday we talked about was Lieutenant Dan. And I told you that, yeah, he had a little bit of a criminal past. He might have attacked an EMT with a string instrument.
Look, who among us?
Yeah, and I had seen, like a 4x4, like 16-panel thing of all of his mugshots over the years. But it's like this guy's a tweaker who lives on a boat in Tampa. Or is he? Yeah, or is he? Right. So the story about somebody with his same name sexually assaulting a 10-year-old girl, that actually was not him. That was someone else with the name. But people have dug up his entire criminal past. And it's a lot of what you think it is, Guy was in and out of jail for 10, 15, 20 years.
Little B&E.
Sure. Yeah. Here's one from February 23. A woman was smoking on a bench on the east coast of Florida when she said she and Lieutenant Dan, who was sitting on a nearby concrete bench, began to argue. Suddenly, he poured a 1-gallon container of gasoline, which of course you just have on you, onto the bench between the pair, igniting it. The amputee grabbed his crutches and hobbled over to the woman, who was still holding her cigarette, and splashed her with fuel. So, yeah, he's a violent criminal. And like I said,
we just don't know the dispute. Let's hear her, his side.
The streaming service Kick and one of their stars, Aiden Ross, have rescinded their deal.
Yeah.
His $100,000 boat that they were going to give him and a monthly contract, which I believe was $30,000 a month. And
Same exact thing as the milk and ham guy.
Yeah.
Like some people were offering him this and that, and then they're like, let's back off that.
Yeah, and the only thing that I guess it was the same, but Lieutenant Dan, in the clip I saw yesterday, they kind of came to him and asked him for his reaction on it. He's like, your fault for not looking me up. It's like, that was all public information.
Very Shane Gillis.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, I was surprised they hired me in the first place.
He's like, what do you want me to say? Yeah, I hit her with a violin. And here's a little bit.
We call that due diligence.
That due diligence. That's right, in the business world. This is a little bit of hurricane audio. This is from the Weather Channel. Because you got to make it sports, What's the biggest thing in American culture?
Football.
The NFL. All right, so when we're talking hurricane, let's make it relatable.
Still being the eye right now. There's a lot more to go. I think back to, the Atlanta Falcons' first half Super Bowl winner. We know what happened to the second half when the Patriots came back to life. So do not sleep on the second half of Milton. And we're definitely concerned now with the surge.
That's weird.
Let me get this straight.
By the way, I don't think this guy's in Atlanta. He might have been, but I looked at it.
More sense.
You will throw like a derecho or a heat dome or just clearly terms they've made up recently.
Mm-hmm.
We're all pretty familiar with the idea of the eye of the storm.
We
don't need to equate that to halftime of the Super Bowl.
Also, it sounds like he's like a desperate producer trying to beg you to stay tuned for the second half of the show.
16 deaths in the first half?
Hey, but
Just
who knows?
wait.
Shit could go crazy.
Just wait.
Stay with us.
You might still be in the eye right now. There's a lot more to go. I think back to, the Atlanta Falcons' first half Super Bowl winner. We know what happened to the second half when the Patriots came back to life. So do not sleep on the second half of Milton. And we're definitely concerned now with this surge.
You guys right now, you're the Falcons. That hurricane?
Right.
Patriots and Tom Brady.
You know how that goes. Oh, look. The hurricane's kissing his son on the mouth. We're in trouble. A theology professor at TCU has been charged with some crimes.
Theology?
Yeah.
Is that like religion?
It is like religion. At the Bright Divinity School at Texas Christian University, his name Charles Kilby Bellinger. And I'm going to show you his face real quick. And I think what I would call this is the ultimate, yep, you guys got me face.
Yeah, the pursed lips.
You can see it on camera there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, you can literally hear him going, yep, yep. And that is because he's been accused of storing pornographic images of toddlers on his work computer.
Golly.
Boy, there's... That's a tough one.
It is. I also want to.
That's a tough one that it exists. The fact
yeah.
that exists is a.
Yeah. I also want to say shout out to whoever wrote this from the Fox 4 website, because I feel like mostly it just says children or underage kids. This one actually says toddlers, which in some way really drives home how horrible this story is.
Worse.
Yeah, it's like they didn't put they could have just gone a step further. Toddlers who were into baseball or something. Like it's really specific. Now, the Divinity School is a separate unit, so he was not an employee of the university. If you have questions about how that works, I don't have the answers to them. Not the brightest, no pun intended, for the Bright Divinity School pedo in the drawer, as they say, because an investigation began after TCU's IT staff reported they found pornographic images with file names including infant and toddler on his work computer. He did not take the fantasy hockey method.
Yeah, you have to put Anaheim Ducks.
Right.
Just so they won't look there.
Or like Las Vegas Aces. Yeah.
That's the that used to be my porn link folder that I figured if my wife ever opened my computer.
Uh-huh.
And there was, because I have different folders, fantasy football, fantasy baseball. You got to have all your RotoWire and all that kind of stuff in there. But yeah, one was called fantasy hockey. I'm like, what's the She will never, ever go in this folder. She may go in fantasy. You never know. All right? A lady might be into picking games or something sometime. I don't know. Rob, I just sent you a text. Let me know if that works or not. Okay.
Yeah, so he's probably not at TCU anymore. I believe he was let go immediately. Update. This is either our annual or biannual update of this story, but an ex-Dallas police officer has been denied parole after she has served half of her murder sentence. This, of course, Amber Geiger. She was eligible for parole late last month after serving half of her sentence.
Boy.
The family of Botham Jean.
The news?
Nationally, really.
Yeah.
The family of Botham joined 6,300 other people who signed an online petition protesting her parole.
Okay.
When it was made available last month.
How long has she been gone?
Sounds like 5 years. But
I'd probably protest that too if it was my kid, right? That got killed.
yeah, I can't. It's hard for me to put myself in that situation.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
Yeah, you don't
because
know
that one, there's a lot of nuance in that one.
Yeah.
There really is.
So you have sometimes the victim's family that will forgive,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have some that won't.
Yeah.
Suck to be on the one that won't. When
Yeah.
It felt like. I mean, was it proven that it was not an accident? Like it was preventable, and it was not a.
Are you talking about the right story here?
She went to the wrong apartment.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was an accident, right? I mean, she thought someone was in her apartment.
Yeah, she was just on the wrong floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always thought
apartment 10 or whatever on the wrong floor.
To me, that's always felt like a manslaughter. But some of the facts would have indicated that she should have had time to recognize it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
The Monster Show on Netflix. The Menendez brothers.
I've not yet seen that.
I've heard good things.
Some manslaughter talk in there.
Is it? I heard they were like reopening the case. Is that true?
Someone sent me a link. I don't know the details.
That's typically how I consume news too.
Kind of saw the headline of a link.
Yeah,
Links
I'm like,
you're sent.
that's crazy. Now I know the whole story.
Right.
And just kind of move on. I don't really do these type of stories too often. It was on WFA's website, but it's from the AP Wire. This happened in Seattle. Or at least outside of Seattle. In Washington State, where this particular sheriff's department gets a lot of calls about animals on the loose. Loose livestock, dogs that are problems. They're out there in the great Northwest. What do they call that? Is it Cascadia? You guys familiar with Cascadia?
I've never heard that word before.
It's
apparently no one in here has either. You're getting no support.
Okay, so there's like this part of the Pacific Northwest with Canada where they kind of think they should be able to be their own country. It's British Columbia, Washington, Oregon. I think it might be a small part of California. Nobody's ever heard of this before? They have an awesome flag, too. There's a Wikipedia page.
Your seed will find no purchase here.
It's fine.
No one's nodding.
No, I took a risky play there. But a lot of animals up in that part of the world, and they're used to it. But in this case in particular, a woman called 911 saying she had to flee her property after 50 to 100 raccoons descended on it and were acting aggressively, and they effectively basically just eminent domained her home.
How'd they get there from Frisco?
Would you like to say something? Perhaps an apology?
I didn't know if they were high school students at Frisco High School.
The joke
We all assumed
failed
that
because
was the
it wasn't
nickname of
understandable.
Nickname of some sports team.
However, we're going to victim blame here because
Do they always go full name when talking about that team?
You know, the first time I was telling somebody about that
Or do we ever
when
shorten
I was
that?
away.
I'm sure they shortened it at one time.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is there was a lady at my facility who was from Plano, Frisco area. She was like mid-50s, and
She's pissed.
Well,
that they changed the name.
So when we played them, I think I was a junior. So this is 02, maybe 03. There was one high school in Frisco. And coming from Richland Hills and North Richland Hills, I had no idea where we were.
It was fields.
It was 100% fields. They have 12 or 14 high schools now. This is within roughly 20 years. But I remember driving up there and being like, where are we? And they were 100% at that time called the Frisco Coons.
And so the PC culture that we all hate is what
Now
caused
it's the
them to
Royals
change
and
it
the Raccoons,
to
not
the
the Rebels and Coons.
And certainly you had your old men in town. They did not like that name change.
No, of course not. So back to the case of the woman in Washington. We're going to victim blame because she told officials she started feeding a family of raccoons decades ago, and it was fine until about 6 weeks ago when the number showing up went from a handful to around 100. Like, so they got on the wire and they're like, hey, we've got this granola white hippie in our back pocket. Bring your boys. And they all showed up, and so they became increasingly more aggressive, demanding food. They would scratch outside of her home at the door. If she pulled up her car, they would surround the car, scratch her car. Yeah.
Damn.
You know, it's very weird being a parent in the age of YouTube because, you know, there's your basic stuff. You know, you've got your educational stuff. We've yet to get to kids opening toys, and I hope that we never get to it, but Blippi, whatever. But there's also just like these random videos online that you'll just stumble across. My daughter really likes animal videos, probably not that niche of a interest. And one day she was like, are there any funny raccoon videos? And I'm like, probably. I bet. So I did a search. One of the first videos that came up, it's a guy in Canada. He has a back porch camera. Old guy, probably 67, late 60s, 70 years old. And his back porch is covered in raccoons. And he does like a 20-minute video of him. Sweet old man. He's like, I went to Walmart today, and, you know, I got all these hot dogs. And he's feeding them hot dogs. And they're just there's 100 of them. And then he's got Oreos. And then it's real cute because they're climbing on him, and he's feeding them oatmeal. And I'm like, she loves it. She's like, look at all these raccoons. So I look at the tag on the video or whatever. It has like 20 million views. It's just,
yeah.
You would think it's just some guy. Hey, some guy just got a YouTube channel and it's got 30 views. But it's just 20 minutes of him in the dark, out back, in the snow, feeding raccoons. And it's got 20 million views. It's a weird world.
That's all you got to do.
Feed raccoons?
I don't know that. I think.
Why don't we get a live animal in here for the stream team?
Well, we want to do we have to do that. We have to just film trash trucks, from what I understand.
Right.
Yeah.
I see a partnership there. Raccoon videos, trash trucks. They could.
Sure. Something for everyone.
Maybe Raccoon Sean can bring us one.
The guy who got Dez as a raccoon?
Yeah.
I was under the impression that raccoons were generally afraid of people. But there was one morning where I was sitting out in our little rocking chair early in the morning a couple weeks ago reading and stuff, and one came up. There were cats at the facility, like 2 or 3 stray cats that we would feed. And I was just sitting there, and I kind of heard something. And we were like in the woods. So there's armadillo everywhere. Probably 4 or 5 of them. You'd see them every morning just walking everywhere. Rabbits everywhere. And I heard something, and I didn't think about it. And then I looked up, and there was a raccoon, like from me to Blake, 4 or 5 feet, just sitting there staring at me. What's up? What do you have? And I was like, get. And it just sat there.
See, I'm afraid of a raccoon.
Disease, right?
Rabies, yeah.
Yeah.
Crabs.
And despite the fact that he was from the Valley, had lived in Idaho, my roommate was not cool with animals. Like, he was disgusted by it.
Huh.
Like, I swear to God, dude, every time they would bring us the cleaning supplies, he would take, like, Lysol disinfectant, and I guess he thought this would work. Maybe it does, I don't know. But he would spray, like, the door jamb all underneath our door. He would spray all around the door, and he would spray everything in front of our door, like the walkway. It's like, I'm not having any fucking animals in here.
This sounds like the greatest roommate.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if it works or not, dude. But then the next
He's
morning,
on the market,
and
right?
he would even get, like, the toilet squeeze cleaner and just coat it like it was caulk.
That's great.
Like, all the way on the bottom. I'm like, it smells good, so I don't care, but it's really weird. Didn't have any more bugs after that.
He sounds better than our bug guy.
Well, there's your news.
Do you have that one thing or no? I do. Oh, you do? Okay. This is the video I promised you yesterday. I just thought this was funny. During the, remember the Ron DeSantis, some guy?
Yeah.
Press conference talking about the hurricane. And am I out of line or is it crazy? I want you guys to look at it and evaluate it for those just listening. And just tell me, would you have expected these, what would you call it, motions to be used in sign language for these particular words? Let's see if you can see that. Oh, can you no audio on that? Well, then it's not going to work as well.
They always get like way more into it than you
at
think.
all.
Look, because it's just like it's just like the wind.
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
for sure.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we don't need audio because it's sign language.
The Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in History.
Yes, it is Friday, October 11th. We spend many Fridays here in the den. You're familiar with that, aren't you, Grady? Grady, when did you set this whole thing up?
April, May.
Jeez.
Well,
wow. That's what I was thinking.
Heart attack man.
Heart attack man, yeah.
Wow.
Trying to think of his many alii.
You crazy, Grady.
Meet Grady.
They ought to call you Crazy Grady.
On this day in 1974, the movie The Texas Chainsaw Massacre was released. It was filmed in Round Rock, Texas.
I believe where I was for the last month, the gas station is there.
Oh.
We passed it.
Who's this?
Oh, really?
It's still there.
Hey,
it's not functioning.
Hey, Jake is back. Heart attack man.
Hey, heart attack man.
Oh, Snake Plissken. I thought you was dead.
Riding the wave out of New York.
He was one of the last to see you.
It's very true.
He might have been the last person to see you.
We all embraced at the airport on the way out, but he was certainly one of, for sure.
Sure, yeah. Anyway, now that's our holiday movie.
That's awesome. I forgot about that. Yeah,
Christmas.
That's sick. I love that.
By the way, she has a great review of the movie Rocky. And I said we might need to get you on to give this review.
I love that. I feel like to really make it pop, though, she needs to be on with Rose.
She has the woke review.
Yeah, the pro.
Oh, yeah, she needs to be on with Rose, man.
On this day in 1975, Bill Clinton married Hillary Rodham.
In the day, nice piece. Nice hippie piece right there.
Very nice hippie piece. Gonna change the world.
Once a year?
Christmas Eve. I can't remember which one I first settled on, but by a fire.
I'll bet you he gets it. I'll bet you he gets in there more than once a year.
You think so?
Oh, he's a charming bastard, that guy.
I know. I might let him take a run at me.
Oh,
I imagine her having like a Christmas robe type thing on, but nothing else.
Okay.
You know, they both have a little scotch or something.
Yeah.
They just go at it.
The very same day, or that evening, Saturday Night Live made its debut.
When's that movie coming out?
Don't know. Nobody knows. On this day in 1980, the Dallas Mavericks won their first game at Reunion Arena.
That movie's coming out today.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Nice. When's the Superman movie coming out?
I don't have any idea. Is this another one where he has to? Is it?
No, this is a documentary about Christopher Reeve.
I told you yesterday.
Superman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Come on, guys.
It's not that he's upset that the AT&T said we'll be there between 11 and 7 to fix your Surface.
No, you're thinking of Homelander. Boys is great. Any of you guys? Am I going to get any support on the Boys?
Should I be watching Boys?
Absolutely. Okay. I got it kind of. On this day in 2017, the Boy Scouts of America announced they would admit girls.
Did the Brownies start letting boys in,
They should.
so to speak?
On this day in 2021, John Gruden resigns as coach of the Raiders, following reports about messages he wrote years earlier that used offensive terms to refer to blacks, gays, and women.
I can't imagine him being that way at all.
Now he's a TikTok star.
Heavy reaction tonight to what Robert Gates, head of the Boy Scouts of America, had to say about the policy. Mary, I wish they'd stuck to their principles. It is, after all, a private organization. Because they caved to outside pressure, I don't respect them as much as I previously did. Paul, it's the Boy Scouts, not the gay boys.
I heard actually that was a pretty close vote when they were naming the
Yeah,
organization.
they were going to go ahead and rename it and everything.
Yeah, 11th hour.
You got a Gruden TikTok?
No, we'll save it. I was going to play coming out of the break, but it's all good.
Okay. On this day in 2022,
Yeah, and how did letting females into the Boy Scouts make them
gay?
boys?
Yeah, I feel like that's a
right.
gross misunderstanding of.
Right, it's probably more gay before, right?
Right, yeah, a bunch of
just dudes.
bunch of little dudes hanging out with each other and their scoutmaster. Let's get some pee in here.
That's the closest those guys got to getting any in their whole lives.
On this day in 2022, NASA announced that they had a spacecraft on purpose plow into a small, harmless asteroid millions of miles away just to see if they could shift its orbit.
Those boys are wild.
A test aimed at fending off any more dangerous asteroids in the future. Hence the big movie that you love.
Well, one, we already know how to do it, and we know who to do it, and who he needs.
Yeah, but you
the
don't need
best.
scientists.
No.
You need
the
guys,
rednecks.
drillers.
Yeah,
They're
that's
just
right.
trying to send a message to other asteroids.
Yeah. It's like hitting somebody across the middle and standing over them. Half the stuff that NASA does seems to be they're just like, well, let's just see. I don't know. It's like you and your buddy in the summer. Like, what if we put a black cat on this spider?
Or just anything.
Let's see.
What if we put this gerbil in this rocket?
What if you
That'll be-
chainsawed the microwave?
That'll
What
be
would
$3
happen?
billion. Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see what happens. Today's birthdays: former
of
Dallas
science.
star Jason Arnott, 50. Former Cowboy Henry Milton, 38.
Grapevine.
Hook 'em.
He's a Stang. I think he got in a fight at Chill.
Yeah.
Almost Dallas Cowboy T.J. Watt is 30.
Yeah, you don't regret that one, though.
Yeah, he was a
Oh,
TY.
excuse me. I was thinking of his Broham. Yeah, TJ for sure. That's Taco.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the Tyron JJ debate. I feel like some people lean JJ a little too quickly for my liking.
Where's TJ Watt? Or excuse me, where's Taco Charlton today?
Last I checked, it was a football league that was not the NFL.
Steve Young, 60. You know, it was a cool when they did release him. Or did they trade him? They traded him Miami for not a seventh or something? Whatever. He got a sack the next week in Miami. He'd never done anything here. Steve Young, 63. John Miller, 73.
Is Steve Young Mormon?
Maybe.
He went to BYU, did he not?
Yeah.
He did.
So I would assume. But I guess he doesn't wear it.
That's what I'm saying. It feels
Yeah.
like usually they do.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like 7 wives or something.
Wasn't the current BYU quarterback BY Jew?
Yes.
Wait, what?
They had a Jewish starting quarterback.
And he would call himself that?
There's a hashtag.
That's
I
awesome.
think was wearing a
It is
T-shirt.
awesome.
He was wearing a T-shirt that said BY Jew or something.
Okay.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
I hope that's correct.
Yeah. That's like
Could I get away with that? Or could I get away with it on Halloween? I'm like, what? I'm the
like that's the first anti-Semitic Halloween costume you've ever conjured up.
In blackface.
Is he black?
He is not.
I got excited. John
I mean,
Miller is
I've done-
73.
I've done-
Keep that in mind.
I've done blackface.
I don't know who
4 or
John
5
Miller is.
The old baseball announcer. You never watched Sunday Night Baseball with John Miller and Joe Morgan?
He had the best
Really?
voice, man. Has the best voice.
Blake? Okay,
I
Blake's
assume
got it.
he's still alive.
That was always sad for me because that was my sign that the weekend was ending and school was the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool to hear him and see him, but it was like, man, this
That's
is
kind of how
great.
I felt when I was watching 60 Minutes, trying to get the breakdown on like it's the economy stupid type things like that, you know. See what was going on with Linda Tripp. But if you guys were over
Why don't
there
you go
watching
back-
sports,
Why don't you go back to rehab?
Jeez.
Ty Murray is 55.
Right,
Jewel,
Blake? I mean, we don't need that shit.
The bull rider, yeah. Michelle Wee, 35.
Oh,
So cool.
oh, we.
Joan Cusack, 62. Artie Lang, 57.
somehow it's amazing.
Still alive. First guest of
Joe Buck.
The Joe Buck comedy show, where Joe Buck. A lot of people always told Joe Buck he was really funny.
Yeah. Give it
You're
a shot.
funny. You're like the funniest announcer out there. You should just do like an actual comedy show. You think? All right.
Dirty Work, still a criminally underrated movie.
Jane Krakowski, 56.
What did she write?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
She's not a right. She's
from one of those lib shows.
She's on The
No,
Greatness
she
of
was
30
from-
Rock.
That's what I meant.
So hot.
Daryl Hall is 78. I think he's got a beef
Live at
with
Daryl's
Oates.
house.
Hall and Oates.
Live at Daryl's house is greatness.
Cardi B, 32.
Are the rumors to be believed? I'm pretty sure that Stefon Diggs smashed while she was pregnant.
Okay.
Which led to her divorce.
And look this up, Blake. Rachel
rooting for
Barton
those kids.
is
I know.
50. Search the name Rachel Barton. Rachel Barton is 50. And what do you see there? World famous.
Violinist?
Yeah, I thought you'd be really into her.
You're super into violins
No,
and stuff.
Yeah.
I only have one love.
Aren't you into all world famous female violinists?
No, just Lindsay.
Born on this day, now dead, Eleanor Roosevelt. Henry Hines. Ketchup guy.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Perry.
Oh, that I know that rocked you to your core.
Very, very, very sad day. And Fred Trump.
You ever seen a picture of him? That guy looks real weird. I think he was pretty into booze.
Why do I feel like he's on the list?
He had like half a head or something weird.
Fred Trump had half a head.
Yeah. Oh. Really funny bio note about his middle name.
Is it something aggressively Nazi-ish?
His middle name is Christ.
No.
Fred
Okay,
Christ
then.
Trump. Died on this day, still dead. 1809, Meriwether Lewis. They don't know if it was a suicide or a murder.
So he's not the one that married the native?
I don't know, maybe.
Didn't one of them like marry Pocahontas or something?
Yeah, and brought her along.
To help find the way, right?
I don't think I'm entirely making this up. Sacagawea.
There you go. Died on this day in 1991, Red Fox, who actually died of a heart attack after flirting with that for years. And then died on this day in...
to wash your ass.
Died on this day in 2021, Blake. On John Miller's birthday, Joe Morgan died.
Oh, no.
I know.
That's sad.
I'm glad that you care about that as much as I do.
Do you guys remember Fire Joe Morgan?
FireJoeMorgan.com, yeah.
Yeah, that was a staple for me every day.
Today in history.
Deadspin, FireJoeMorgan.com.
What a world. Then Peter Thiel came in.
YouPorn.
Sure.
YouPorn used to be the go-to.
Porn.
Yeah.
Vote for Colin Allred.
All right, well, we're at this moment of the show.
Bye, Heart Attack Man.
See you, Ham.
Oh. Okay. Like a heads up before that. Thank you. That's way better.
This is what we call closing remarks. And despite that we do have Will and Jared and Bankhead here, it looks like Grady is the guy who gets closing remarks.
He demanded the couch seat.
As a man who's fought and defeated Jake in the past. At least via email.
He's got nothing to say, apparently. He's just chilling.
I'm just super humbled and blessed to be here.
There you go.
Okay.
Like that.
But I do remember destroying Jake.
That's it?
I mean, do you have any questions?
No, this is usually the portion of the program where
these guys back here have...
The sit-in has their opportunity. Do we have a mic laying back there?
I saw one.
Right there.
Bankhead, pick that up.
You guys got anything or no?
Yeah,
we don't. I mean, if you don't have anything, we're fine to leave, dude. We're
no, don't let it off the hook.
Horns are gonna win by. I'm gonna say 24 points.
That's his closing remark.
24 points. Yeah.
Hold on.
Anything?
Well, you have the mic in front of your face. You don't have to ask me to hold on. Go ahead.
So, Jake, we're obviously very proud of you.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of a hero.
Yeah.
We've heard a lot about your story. It's beautiful. I think what the listeners, at least I'll speak for myself, are interested in
We're supposed to use I statements. So that works.
What I'm interested in is Blake and Dan's kind of perspective of the weeks leading up, and if, there were any, signs of a problem that, conversations that were had, a peek behind the curtain as far as the weeks leading up and that decision and kind of the way y'all were seeing it. And
But this guy asked really deep questions, like the one he asked us
at
at
first
the
he
break.
had nothing.
Then the one in the break of
I can
about
come every
leaving the
Friday if
station.
you want.
No, you're good. Nah, look,
my
everybody
perspective
knew.
was
It's
that
all good.
everything was fine. I was just totally surprised. I couldn't believe it. I didn't want him to go. I told him not to go.
This will ruin the show.
Yeah. I told his wife, I don't care what's happening at home. I need we need him here on the show, and she wouldn't listen. You know women. And
Well, we
listen to a
couldn't-
goddamn thing.
Yeah.
That's all you're getting.
I crossed some boundaries there, man.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
No, it's fine. It's all good. Yeah, he was a dirty drunk.
It's true.
Urinating all over the house.
Yep. I peed in the RV.
Yeah. Actually, I think I went number 2 in the RV. So.
Yeah.
That was inadvertent, though. I didn't mean to.
Sometimes
that happens.
Little sneak out.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, for
if
sure.
anybody knows.
That's why I always sit down to pee.
How to go number 2 everywhere.
That's all
it's
I
really kind of petered out here.
Oh, okay. Well, I will thank you
Join
guys
us Sunday.
yeah. Join us Sunday and stuff. So,
what time should we be
Adios, mofo.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.